Doggone it!
You're wasting your time, Jethro. That ain't no crystal ball, and you can't see the future in it.
Could if a blasted goldfish would get out of the way.
You've got rocks in your head. I say nobody can read fortune.
Well, you sure can't. You can't even read the paper very good.
That's lucky for you, I'm a lady.
Wait till my real crystal ball gets here. I'll show you I can predict things, you dumb old turkey brain.
Well, I predict something right now. You're going to get hit so hard you're going to have a 6-foot neck.
Oh, yeah! What's going on here? Well, you know that genuine simulated plastic crystal ball I sent for a couple weeks ago? Well, Ellie says that even when that gets here, I won't be able to see the future in it.
There's just one way to find out. Go get it off the hall table.
It come? Hot dog!
Look out, Granny!
You got Granny. Oh!
Hey, Christmas, young'un, stay on your own side of the hall.
You all right, Granny?
Of course I'm all right. Who's that fella sitting at the table with you?
I think you better sit down until your eyeballs stop spinning.
Where was they going in such a hurry? It's the first time Jethro ever run that fast away from the kitchen.
He sent for a fortune teller's crystal ball in the mail, and it came today.
How can Jethro see the future? Most of the time, he ain't sure where he's been.
Well, if one accounts for anything, he's going to see it in widescreen and color.
Funny thing, though. Here lately, I've had a notion that old Lottie Pulver back home is going to birth a set of twins.
Huh? Well, Pulver's been married for 30 years without having a young'un. Even their rabbits don't breed.
I know it's silly, but I even seen what she's going to name them. Luther and Alice.
Uh-huh. Where'd you see all this, in the bottom of your jug?
It's here! It's here! My genuine plastic simulated crystal ball come from Swami Herman.
That's the paper from back home, Ellie?
Yes, ma'am. It's the Bug Tussle Times Tribune Journal and World Report.
Well, let me read the headline. I want to see how many folks come to church last Sunday. Great Polly Waddle Dixman Drug. Seems alive in both my drugs.
What's that granny off? Something you read in the paper?
Well, there's nothing that odd popping in here. Well, even the headlines is just, Lottie Pulver has twins.
Tell you, I got the power. No other way that I would have known that Lottie was going to have twins 4 days ago. A boy named Luther and a girl named Alice.
Granny, somebody probably told you.
I couldn't have known she was expecting. I ain't had a letter from home in months. I predicted it, right out of the blue.
There must be a reason.
Of course there's a reason. I'm a seer. You know what they say about the seventh daughter of the seventh daughter?
Yeah, but you ain't one.
That's probably why it took so long for the power to show up.
All right, I'm not going to spoil your fun.
What fun? I'm a doctor, not a fortune teller. You give me my bat wings and my newt eggs and my spider webs. I don't want nothing to do with this black magic.
Just forget it.
I can't. It's a gift, a responsibility. I gotta use my future predicting powers for the good of all mankind.
Well, how about starting with me and predict when we's going to eat lunch? I can't even find that out from this danged old jip.
You're wearing my best bath towel.
I figured it'd help if I wore a turban like Swanee Herman.
And my favorite brooch. Don't you know that them's real diamonds and rubies? Cost 95 cents.
What you know, Granny? If they was real, they cost at least $3.
I got a vision. I'm seeing the future. It's you, Jethro. You're going on a journey.
Not until you fix me something to eat.
A long journey.
I don't believe in that fortune telling no more.
Jethro.
Hold on. I think I'm getting another vision. Yeah. I predict we're going to have a visitor.
You don't say. When?
Soon. Hear that? It's come true. Now, wait. I'll see if I can predict who it's going to be.
You, Mr. Clampett, Granny.
It's Miss Jane.
You know.
A voice told me.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
It's you. I was right.
I don't understand.
I've been given the gift of prophecy. I predicted that you'd be you.
Granny thinks she can foresee things. She guessed some woman back home was going to have twins and what their names would be.
I did not guess. It come to me.
Well, then you're a prognosticator.
Save your insults. I didn't ask for this power.
I never believed in fortune telling.
I never believed a chicken come out of an egg, neither, till I seen it happen. Wait. I got a prediction for you, Miss Jane. You is going to be getting a raise from Mr. Drysdale.
Yes, he'll hit the ceiling when I ask for one.
He's going to hit something else. The jackpot. He's going to get a lot of money. Oops! I'm seeing another vision.
I think you've seen enough for one day.
This one's about you, Jed. You is going to settle down with a beautiful lady. She's going to raise your children and take good care of you.
Okay, Granny, that's all.
There, don't stop me while I'm hot. I'm getting another vision. This one's about Ellie. She's going to have 7 young'uns. Oh.
Granny, Alberta Bradshaw's on the phone, long distance. You can get it yonder.
Isn't she the lady from back home you call Big Mouth?
Yeah, I've been having Ellie try to reach her. You'll go get some coffee whilst I tell her about my gift.
Granny, I wouldn't spread this around.
I want everybody in Pikes County to know. That's why I'm telling Elverny it's a secret.
All right, Granny, but tell her to get somebody to steady the ladder.
The ladder.
Yeah, first thing old Big Mouth does with a secret is climb up on her roof and holler it out. Biddle's ready? I'm hungry enough to eat anything ain't moving.
Park your carcass.
Granny, Ellie said you've been moping around ever since you talked to Big Mouth Bradshaw.
Elverny had told me about Lottie Pulver going to have twins and what they was going to be named. He called me 3 months ago. I forgot.
Well, I'm sure it's hard to remember one piece of gossip out of the flood of hogwash old Big Mouth pours out.
The worst part is that when I talked to her this morning, I started bragging up a storm about my predictive powers.
Granny, I hope you've learned your lesson about fortune telling.
I have. And the next person who mentions it is going to wish he had walked into a barn full of bobcats instead.
Is Biddle's ready for our fortune teller? I've been trying to see something in this crystal ball for so long, my eyes feels permanent cross. At least I ain't been making predictions willy-nilly like you, Granny.
Boy.
You not only said that I'd be taking a journey, but, let's see, that Ellie Mae was going to be having 7 young'uns, and then there was a prediction for Uncle Jed, and Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane. Well, you was spitting them out like watermelon seeds. What was that noise? Somebody dropped something?
Yeah, my skiff.
Well, at least your eyes are straightened out.
This crystal ball has still got to go. Now it's done give me a headache.
Granny, remember your prediction about me going to have 7 young'uns?
We ain't talking about that no more.
Well, now Granny can be happy again, because it's come true. Why? I'm a mother.
Well, Ellie, Summer must have heard about all your critters, because you sure got you some foundlings.
Oh, no, sir, I think they found out.
Jed, do you realize what this means?
Yeah, it means now we got pretty near 30 dogs on the place.
No, I'm a seer. I really predicted these, for sure.
You said Ellie was going to have 7 young'uns.
Well, they's young, and there's 7 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I have got powers. I gotta call Miss Jane. Then I'm gonna call Big Mouth Bradshaw and get her to holler a retraction.
Chief, the strangest thing just took place at the Clampett.
At the Clampets, what else can you expect?
No, this...
Wait.
Now?
They found 7 puppies on their front porch.
Miss Hathaway, I just took a tranquilizer to hear that. Do you know what they cost?
Granny predicted them.
10 cents apiece!
Listen, remember I told you Granny predicted those twins and what they'd be named? Now her prediction for Ellie has come true.
Really? Say, that's more than a coincidence. What did you say she predicted for me?
That you would get a lot of money. But I wouldn't count on it. Oh, there have been some examples of successful prognostication. However...
they're eating, they remind me of 7 little Jethros.
How's my darling little puppies doing? Are they getting enough to eat?
Well, yes, Granny. Pa made him this here contraption.
Sort of a makeshift mama.
Well, take good care of them. They's proof of my powers.
Did you tell Elverna Bradshaw about him yet, Granny?
No, her line was busy. And I don't have to be a fortune teller to know what she's talking about. Me.
Well, you get through to her. She's got to stop blabbing long enough to put some food in her mouth.
Not Bernie. She stays on the phone and takes her meals what you call intravenously.
Should I try again, Granny?
No, I will. And wait till I tell her about me predicting them little rascals. Her tongue will be sticking out like a pump handle. Better give that little fellow on the end there some more milk.
Why, dassum, Granny. The fellow at the pet shop told me to...
Beverly, you mean you went out to the pet shop to get them pups to leave on the front porch?
Well, I just wanted one of Granny's predictions to be right.
You're sweet, darling. But now I'm back where I started from. Wrong.
I just wanted to cheer up, huh?
I know, Willie. Sometimes even the milk of human kindness turns sour.
Hey! Finally getting a vision in my crystal ball. It looks like Granny.
Yes, wrong.
It talks, too. And kicks, too. Boy, that's realism.
Be a big dodo.
Oh, God, I thought I was finally seeing something. I can't make no prediction with this thing.
You're better off. If you ain't made any, you don't have to worry about them coming true.
That don't worry me. If I could just come up with a prediction, I'd make it happen.
Huh?
Who know the difference?
Nobody. But don't you go to fixing no phony fortunes.
Oh, I won't, Granny.
I'm gonna be the only phony fortune fixer in this house. Yes, wait a minute.
I thought you'd be in bed after the shock of finding out it was Ellie brung them puppies.
I'm pretty near over it.
Good. Then you won't be needing this misery chaser I brung you.
I said pertinent. There's still a thimbleful of shock hanging on.
Well, if you wasn't in shock before you swallowed that, you're going to be now.
That's the real old stuff. Been aging since yesterday.
Well, anyway, I'm glad to see that you give up fortune telling.
Yes, sir, Jed. No more predicting from me.
Good.
Leastways, not until the ones I just made come true.
Granny.
Well, I only missed 2 of them. I still have a chance with Miss Jane's raise, and Mr. Drysdale getting some money, Jethro's journey, and you getting married.
Not as much chance as a cricket in a hen house.
You sound just like Elverna Bradshaw. And by now, all of Pikes County. I think I'm an old fool, but you'll see.
I don't think you're an old fool.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You do, too.
I don't either.
Well, then say it.
I don't think you're an old fool.
Oh, so you ain't so sure, huh? Well, I'll show you. Them fortunes I told is gonna come true.
There's the fortune teller. You little Nostradamus. I've heard about your prediction that I'm going to get a lot of money.
It's gonna come true.
You any idea when?
Yeah? First, you gotta do me a little favor.
Oh, I'll do anything. Cheat, lie, steal.
Just give Miss Hathaway a raise.
What? I don't know. I never... All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll give her a 50-cent a week raise.
Ain't you being a little over generous?
Indeed I am. And she'd better not come around 10 years from now hitting me up again.
Well, just so she gets it. 1 prediction down, 3 to go.
Now, about my prediction.
Oh, yes. I said you was going to get a lot of money. And Granny is never wrong. Here's $5. That's all I got. 2 down and 2 to go.
This is all I get from the prediction of a lousy $5?
I only guarantee results, not satisfaction.
Granny, I won't take this. I was supposed to get a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Why, back home with $5, you can buy enough land to live off of and enough moonshine to make living worthwhile.
If you want that prediction to come true, just give me the name of some good common stock.
You mean like pigs?
Business stock. One that's going to go up in price.
How do I do that?
Well, just pick one out of the stock exchange listing. With your ability to see the future, I'll make a killing.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be me.
What are you two doing eating in the dark?
Oh, this is what you call a squeegee board.
Well, I don't care. You can turn on a light to eat it.
Don't eat it. This pointer spells out the future. It's easier on the eyes than that crystal ball, and a lot faster, too.
Who says? We've been sitting here for 20 minutes now, and then I moved.
If there's paint on that table, you better move and fast.
I had to use the table, Uncle Jed. This pointer needs a flat, smooth surface.
When Granny sees that paint, she'll put that kind of a finish on the seat of your pants.
But this paint will wash right off.
Jed! Oh, Jed!
Then you better start washing. Granny.
Oh, I thought you was out back. One of my predictions come true.
Well, is that so?
Yeah, Miss Jane, she's going to get a raise. I got to go call her.
Well, don't rush off. I want to hear about it.
Well, I talked to Mr. Drysdale, and his prediction is going to come true. I told him about a business stock to buy, and he says it looks like a dandy. Jed, if you want to dance, ask me like a gentleman.
I want to hear about the stock. How's you going to make money on it?
It's simple. You buy it now, and when it goes up in price, you sell it for a profit.
Well, what if instead of going up in price, it goes down?
You can do that?
Well, you tell me.
I better go warn Mr. Drysdale. I don't think he knows.
Well, Granny, wait.
Jed, this is no time for dancing. There's a prediction at stake. Besides, maybe it's because we're on the grass, but your waltzing is sure going downhill.
Paint all over my table. Where's my hickory switches? I'll take the bark off and both of you.
Paint don't come off. I told you to bring the watercolor.
Well, it was watercolor. Blue, ain't it?
Get on the truck and drive till I get Granny cooled off.
Hey, thanks, Uncle Jed. I'll never forget you for this.
Here they go.
They're taking a little trip.
Why, I'll be... Jed, that's my prophecy. It's come true. I predicted that Jethro and a beautiful girl would be going on a journey.
But you said a long journey. I told him just to drive around till you cool off.
That'll be a long journey, believe me.
That's right. Congratulate the Wizard of Wall Street.
Also known as the boob of Beverly Drive. Your broker called and told me you had bought 10,000 shares of Dynasty Transport Company.
Right. Granny selected it for me. I bought it for 10 cents. I think I'll sell when it gets to be $100 a share.
Did you bother to find out what Dynasty Transport manufactures?
No, but Granny hasn't been wrong yet. Now, what do they build? Monorails, rockets, supersonic transports?
Stage coaches. And they haven't made a profit since 1805. In fact, they haven't made anything since 1805. Drysdale's office? Oh, yes, Mr. Rogers. It's your broker. I'm afraid he can't come to the phone now. He's crying. It what? It is. Well, of course, I'll tell him at once. It's cheap. Dynasty Transport is up 3 points a share. Somebody bought the company for $1.5 million.
Granny was right. I made a fortune. Hello, Mike. Yeah. What sucker would pay $1.5 million for a stagecoach company, eh? J.D. who?
Gee!
No! You don't need to spell it!
I'm glad to get the company, Mr. Goodman. Who knows, with all this smog talk, maybe the stagecoach is due for a comeback. I'll have Mr. Drysdale call tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Jed.
Well, at least now Mr. Drysdale won't suffer on account of your fortune telling.
I'm quitting winners. 3 of my last 4 predictions come true.
Which one didn't?
The one that you was going to settle down with a beautiful lady, and she was going to raise your children and take good care of you.
Looks like that one come true, too. That beautiful lady is a perfect description of you.
You're sweet, Jed. Now, if I could just get Alverny to clear my name with the folks back home.
Well, telephone her and tell her to come in shouting it out.
I already tried. But Minnie on the switchboard at Bug Tussle says she ain't taking no calls since she come down from the roof this morning.
What's the matter? Did she lose her voice?
No, her foot. She fell off, broke her leg, Ned's collarbone, and 3 jugs of cider that he was selling to the crowd.
Ellie, was it you put this monkey to milking the goat?
Oh, yes, sir. He's doing that for Granny.
Looks like he's going into business for himself.
Anything else I can do for you, Uncle Jed?
No, I reckon that just about does it. How's it look to you, Granny?
Just like back home. Beautiful.
Well, I'll go call Mr. Drysdale and tell him it's ready.
Jed, didn't Mr. Drysdale say why he wanted us to put up the cabin?
Nope, he said he explained when he got here.
It's the most brilliant advertising scheme in banking history. My television commercial will show how I took this starving, penniless hillbilly family living in a wretched little backwoods cabin and with my financial genius transformed them into millionaires living in a magnificent Beverly Hills mansion.
Chief, that's not true.
You don't think that's a magnificent mansion?
You know what I mean. Oil was discovered on their property, and they were worth millions before you ever met them.
Details. No one's interested in that side of the story.
Better Business Bureau might be interested.
You open your yacht to those nitpickers, and you'll be starved.
I'm sorry, but I will not stand idly by and watch this happen.
You bet you won't. You'll be photographing it.
Me?
Yes, with that nice motion picture camera you carry along on your bird-watching trip.
I refuse to be associated with this in any way.
That's gratitude for you. What were you when I hired you?
I was the top secretary to the top executive of the top insurance company in this entire city.
There you are. No place to go. No incentive. No future. Here you've got everything to work for.
And I have been working for it for 10 years. You promised me regular raises, pension and profit sharing, hospitalization, a 5-day working week.
Okay, say no more. You've got it.
I have?
Starting Monday, a 5-day working week.
But, Chief, what about the other thing?
Oh, that's labor for you. Churn soft and they take advantage of it.
Mr. Drysdale, I hereby tender my resignation.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Miss Hathaway. You've been a faithful, devoted, efficient secretary for 10 long years. Do you think I can overlook that?
1 will get you 5.
I'll get right down to the nitty-gritty. Now, you stay with me, and you'll have a nest egg for the rest of your life. I mean, a real big one.
Are you serious?
Cross my heart.
It's this side.
Oh, it's all over. You know what a big heart I have.
Yeah.
You don't believe me, eh? All right. You're going to feel bad when I tell you this. It's in here right now.
My nest egg?
Yes, I've been saving it for you. I even have your name on it.
Chief, I can't believe it.
Well, it's true. Now, you just stay with me, and it's yours. Milford Drysdale speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Clampett. Oh, the cabin is up. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I'll be right over. Yes. Goodbye. Did I tell you it's a big one? Why, you'll be the envy of every bird watcher in town.
Miss Hathaway? Excuse me, I have those loan papers for Mr. Drysdale. What happened?
Miss Hathaway just blew her 5-day week.
Is this all the milk that goat give?
Oh, I reckon so.
Well, you might as well give it to the monkey to drink.
Oh, I don't think he can have no more.
Granny! Dad! Get him off!
You can't intimidate me this time. I've got claw.
You just think you've been clawed.
I was referring to this courageous and noble canine.
That what it is? Looks something like a dog.
And those fangs can tear to ribbons the toughest crepe Suzette.
Do tell.
I have but to give the command, attaque. and he will attack ye.
He does, and you're gonna clean it up.
You deserve to be set upon. Claude, mon chien brave. Attaquez cette canaille.
What are you saying, Miss Drysdale?
That's French, you oaf. I'm releasing the primitive instincts in this ferocious animal. Kill! Kill!
Look out, little baby!
Claude, come back! That vicious beast attacked my dog.
No, he didn't.
You hillbillies in your squalid hovel are a blight on the landscape of Beverly Hills. Jethro,
Yes, ma'am?
I demand that you demolish this ugly, broken-down old ruin.
Granny, you gonna let her call you that?
No, I ain't.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Kill! Kill!
Give it a Tennessee two-torch, Granny.
Slap your kiss-it grinder on her.
Granny, what's going on here? How come you to do this?
Do what, kid?
This is the last straw.
There's a couple of more, ma'am.
You anthropoids, you Neanderthals, you troglodytes.
Talking French again, Granny.
I'd appreciate it if you talk American.
I'm through talking. I want action. And you're gonna get it. One beating just don't take on this woman. She's a slow learner.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I'd have been here sooner, but Miss Hathaway and I had a little misunderstanding. Oh, there it is. Margaret, isn't that little cabin beautiful?
Exactly.
Here, I asked the Clampetts to put it up.
Whatever for?
Well, come inside, darling, and I'll explain.
I refuse.
Oh, please, dear, come with Daddy.
Why can't you explain it here?
Not in front of the Clampetts, dear. Now, come on.
No.
Lover, baby, do you want Daddykins to carry you inside?
Oh, very well.
That's my sugar dumpling. Oh, excuse us.
Oh, doggies. So that's why he wanted the cabin.
What, Pop?
For a love nest. He surprised his wife with a second honeymoon.
Yeah! He called her a dumpling.
Why not? She's built like one.
Ain't you got no romance? This is a tender moment. Now let's all get out of here and leave them two lovebirds alone.
Don't look now. But the mama bird just throwed the papa bird out of the nest. Where's my patient?
Oh, he's coming too. Jethro and Paul's fetching him in.
He sure got a nasty whack on his head when his wife chucked him through that door.
You reckon you'll have to operate?
Could be, could be. Where's my clamps? Oh, right here. They're like. Good. And here's my suture. I think I'll sew them up with blue number 3 and use a lazy daisy stitch. That makes a real pretty scar. Set them right here, boys. Oh, they cut down the old pine tree and they hauled it away to the mill to make a coffin of pine for that neighbor of mine. Oh, they cut down.
Granny, I don't believe I'd sing that.
That's the new thing, Jed. Music in the operating room to relax the patient.
You don't look too relaxed.
All right. Stir me up some lather. I'm going to shave his head.
What? Shave my head? No.
Now, just rest easy. I might be able to save your hair. Here. Take 3 fingers of my Tennessee tranquilizer. That'll relax you. Look at this, Jed. Piece of his skull come loose.
Looks like an eggshell.
Thinnest head I ever seen. He wears a tight hat, he's in trouble.
Jethro, go see who's at the front door.
Oh, can't Ellie go? This is my chance to learn brain surgery.
Well, I'm Granny's nurse.
All right, I'll go. You young'uns help the doctor all you can.
Man can't live with a skull that thin. Billy May, you go sterilize my soul. We's gonna make medical history.
Well, what you mean?
I'm gonna perform the first head transplant.
Can I help?
You is gonna be the donor.
Donor? What's a donor?
Never mind. Take 2 aspirin and wash your neck.
Okay, then what?
Then I'm gonna give you and Mr. Drysdale a general anesthetic.
You mean you're gonna knock us out with that mallet?
Maybe not. Your head is too thick, and his is too thin. I'll give you gas. Go stick your head in the oven.
Oven?
Well, boy, a head transplant is likely to smart.
All's ready, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you fixing to give him my head?
You'll get his.
Are you kidding? That wouldn't look good with a mustache.
Complain. You've got a chance to make medical history.
No thanks. You said yourself his skull's too thin.
Well, that's the beauty of it, boy. The way you eat, you'll grow a new head of bone in no time.
Nothing doing. Have to swap heads with Ellie.
No, sir.
Now, that don't make no sense at all. You think you don't look good with a mustache.
You ain't giving him my head. I got a 6th grade education up here. And I ain't giving out to no bank president. Hey. Here's a head for you. Swap these 2.
Don't do it, Granny.
No, it ain't a good match. Besides, his wife ain't too happy with him now.
Come on, Granny.
Well, how's it going, Doctor?
There's your donor. He's already got a mustache.
I just can't see a banker wearing that hat.
What y'all talking about?
Oh, nothing, Jed. Who is at the door?
Miss Jane, she'll be here directly.
Miss Jane. She's got the head for Mr. Drysdale.
Figure 2.
Granny, Mr. Craven tells me you're performing first aid on the chief. May I help?
You sure can.
Miss Jane, how would you like to be his boss for a change?
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Granny's fixing to perform the first head transplant. You're going to be the donor.
Don't worry. I'll use green thread and a zigzag stitch, and folks will think you're wearing a new necklace.
Granny, I'm afraid medical science isn't ready for a head transplant.
Well, we gotta do something. This poor man's head is falling apart like an eggshell. Look at that.
Well, that is eggshell. You see, I gave him an egg shampoo this morning.
She's right. That's a good, solid rind.
Take my word for it. This is one of the hardest heads in Beverly Hills.
My tranquilizer's wearing off.
All he needs is a little fresh air.
What are you doing here, Benedict Arnold?
Drysdale, that's your secretary.
She's no secretary of mine.
Now, come along, Chief. I want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you, you big chicken.
Oh, come on.
See that? He don't recognize Miss Jane.
Think she's a big chicken.
Reckon it was that whack he got on the head when he busted through the cabin door?
Yeah. He's suffering from what us doctors call magnesia.
I'm going to make that television commercial with the Clampets. I don't care what you say. Or my wife either. It's a natural. The real Cinderella story from rags to riches.
Chief, that is false, dishonest, unethical, and completely misleading.
Yes, it'll make a fortune. I'll be the hero of the banking business from coast to coast.
I've been reading too many of those super banker comic books.
Now, don't start putting down Superman. See, you've just given me a great idea. I'll be Superbanker and zoom out of the sky to rescue the destitute, starving hillbillies.
You don't mean with those green tights and the dollar sign.
Exactly. Magnificent.
Come on, Jethro.
I'm not Jethro.
You will be after the head transplant.
Uncle Jed?
Jethro, give me a hand with this door.
But Mr. Drysdale said he don't want no door on the cabin.
Well, I can understand him being door shy, but it seems to me like a honeymoon cabin ought to have one, even if it is a second honeymoon.
Turns out he don't want the cabin for a second honeymoon. He wants it to make a movie.
A movie?
Starring us.
Well, doggy.
Well, it ain't as good as it sounds. Look, you see what he wants me to wear.
Well, let me see him.
Okay, I'll put it on and show you. How's this for crazy casting?
What you mean?
He's got me playing the part of a country rube.
No.
Who's going to believe that a sophisticated international playboy like I is from the sticks?
Well, boy, I reckon you'll just have to do some extra tall acting.
But I got to look the part, too. This is the face of a scholar, a sixth-grade graduate. You can't hide intelligence.
Ted, will you look what Mr. Drysdale's got Ellie and me wearing in his movie?
What parts you two playing?
Why, he says we's all playing ourselves.
Well, then you three is set. But do I look like a famous Beverly Hills surgeon?
Just as much as I look like a country hick.
Wait a minute. I think we's all forgetting that Mr. Drysdale has had a pretty bad whack on the head. He ain't himself.
That's true.
Yeah, didn't even know Miss Jane.
Worst case of magnesia I ever did see. Should have done the transplant.
Now, I think he'll come out of it all right, but I think we ought to humor him.
Well, I'll go along with that first spell. But if he don't get better soon, that head's gotta go.
Here he comes. Now, let's just go along with everything he wants. Howdy, Mr. Drysdale. You all ready to do your movie?
Fine, fine. Now, let's have a look. There, that's better. Now you look like a half-wit. I certainly can improve your looks. There now, smile. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, let's see, Granny. I think a few warts, moles, and dirt will help your face. Do those teeth come out?
No, but I wouldn't bet on yours.
Ready with the camera, Chief?
Good, good. Now, you can film the opening while I change into my costume.
Right. All right, I'm rolling. Action!
Look up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's Super Banker! No longer will you be the poorest family in the hills. Shiftless, toothless, half-witted, and dirty. No, with the help of the Commerce Bank, you will move into a mansion in Beverly Hills and be rich, beautiful, intelligent, and clean.
You hit me one more time and I'll clean you. I ain't gonna hold still for no nut in green underwear and belting me with a branding iron.
Me neither.
I have an idea. Miss Hathaway, we'll go to the mansion and shoot the happy ending first. Now, once they do that, they'll have a better feeling for this sad beginning.
Right, Chief. All right, everybody to the mansion. Your wardrobe is waiting. All right, I'm rolling. Action!
Believe it or not, friends, that lazy, no-good family of hillbillies now occupies this beautiful mansion in Beverly Hills and drives this beautiful car. Now, how did this financial miracle happen? I'll let them tell the story. Come out, shiftless father.
I am on my way to the stockbroker to see how many millions Mr. Drysdale's smart investments has made for me this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Thank you, Super Banker.
Come out, toothless girl.
Thanks to Mr. Drysdale, I ain't toothless no more.
And where are you going, rich, beautiful Beverly Hills heiress?
I'm going riding with my rich, handsome Beverly Hills dentist.
Thank you, Ellie Mae.
Thank you, Super Banker.
Come out, half-wit boy.
I am on my way to UCLA to pick up my Ph.D.
Tell me, rich young intellectual, what was the subject of your dissertation?
The Drysdale system for the rehabilitation of half-wit hillbillies.
Thank you, Dr. Bodine.
Thank you, Super Bank.
Come out, dirty old grandmother.
Thanks to Mr. Drysdale, I am no longer a dirty old grandmother. In fact, I am the founder and the president of the GAHAB Society.
And what does that stand for?
Give a hippie a bath.
And where are you going now, immaculate old matron?
I got a date with Mr. Clean.
Them is company vittles if I ever smell them. Any word from Cousin Roy yet?
He called from the edge of town. Ellie gave him the directions how to get here.
Well, from the edge of town, he just follow his nose. If heaven smelled like that, wouldn't be no sinners.
Here is the soup prize for Cousin Roy. See if you can guess what that is.
That is either rain crow, barn owl, or yellowhammer.
Close.
Mud hen?
Right. That's a coot cobbler.
Coot cobbler? Granny, you are really putting a big pot in a little one today.
Well, poor Roy probably hasn't had a decent meal since I left the hills.
Oh, Granny, Roy's ma is one of the best cooks in Cud County.
Myrtle Halsey, her cooking would gag a buzzard.
That just ain't so.
Then why did Roy always come over to our place to eat?
He coming over to our place because he had eyes for Ellie Mae.
He had eyes for my victuals.
Granny, remember how he used to sit on the back porch and play his guitar and make up songs about Ellie?
He done that to keep from going home to an empty table.
All right, Granny, have it your way.
Myrtle Halsey never cooked a decent meal in her life. She was always out peddling that bad moonshine that she made.
Are you talking about her tonic? Mother Myrtle's magic mixture?
Magic mixture. Possum Ridge poison is what it was. She ought to have been arrested.
Well, now, you peddle plenty.
It was legitimate medicine. The only known protection against Siberian scurvy.
Granny, we never had no Siberian scurvy.
You bet we didn't. I pioneered in preventive medicine.
Now, just because you and Myrtle used to lock horns, I hope you ain't gonna take it out on her boy.
I'm treating him like a king. I'm cooking him everything but the fatted calf.
Speaking of the fatted calf, where is Jethro? Victuals like these are cooking. I'm surprised he ain't here with both feet in the trough.
For sakes, I plumb forgot about Jethro.
Everybody, Cousin Roy just turned in a driveway.
When is that girl gonna learn to wear a dress? Well, hey, ain't you got a nice pretty dress for Cousin Roy?
Yep, but I don't know if it'll fit him.
I want you to wear it. Now run along and put it
Oh,
on.
yes, sir.
Good thing that girl is so pretty.
Yeah, she takes after me.
Roy, come on.
I almost hate to see him, Jed.
Why?
6 years of nothing but Myrtle's cooking. He'll be a walking skeleton.
This place is bigger than the Cud County Courthouse.
Little Roy!
Howdy, Granny.
Good to see you, Roy. Welcome to Beverly Hills.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Let's have a look at you, Roy.
You're exactly a skeleton, Granny.
Been eating out, have you?
No, ma'am. Just Big Mama's cooking.
Oh, that's baby fat, Jed. He's still living on it. Come on in. I got a surprise cooking for you on the stove right now.
Well, thank you, Granny, but I just finished the last of the victuals that Mama packed from a trip. Cold coot cobblers.
You say coop copper?
Yes, ma'am. Ain't nobody makes it like Big Mama.
Do they still call her man Crazy Myrtle?
Granny, let's have Roy tote his things in. Sure is a dandy car, Roy.
Somebody put a wanted poster on this side. Looks like Bonnie Parker. Or is it Clyde?
Granny.
Well, bless my soul if it ain't my dear old friend Myrtle.
Yes, Mama let me drive her delivery car.
Gone out of business, has she?
Oh, no, ma'am. Business so good, she done sent me out here to open up a Hollywood branch.
Do tell.
Yes, sir. She's after the movie star trade. She figures she'll have them if we can just get an endorsement from somebody like Bull Montana.
Bull the dandy.
Well, howdy there, Roy.
What happened?
I dropped my sample case. 40 bottles of Big Mama's magic mixture.
Looks like some of them's busted, Roy.
Don't light a match. Nobody. I'll go get 'em up before it starts eating through the floor.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Clampett. I'll clean it up.
No, Granny and me take care of that. Ellie, show Roy to his room.
Oh, yes, sir, Pop. Tell me, Roy, do you still play the guitar?
Yes, ma'am, Ellie. I pick it a little.
Would you pick something for me?
I sure will.
Ellie Mae, give Roy a chance to get settled in.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Clampett. I'd like to do one for Ellie. Here's one I used to do right after y'all left the hills. Goes like this, Ellie. There's a cabin in Cook County that we knew in days of yore, where we whiled many happy hours away. A-sittin' and a-singin' by the little cabin door, where dwelt my lovely Ellie Mae. Oh, my darling Ellie Mae, they have taken you away, and I'll never see my darling anymore. I am sitting by the river, and I'm weeping all the day, 'cause you're gone from the old log cabin door.
Sure was a hit.
I bet you Roy will never brag on his mamas again.
Hey, Granny, them sure was fun.
Pete?
Mama!
Is expecting you to call, Roy. Now, why don't you do that right now? Let her know you got here safe and sound. Ellie, show Roy that phone out in the front hall.
Oh, yes, sir, Pop. Follow me, Roy.
Granny, anything you want me to tell Mama?
Yeah. You tell her if she brings her tonic out here.
Granny will help her sell it.
What?
Roy's talking to his mama back home. She wants to say howdy to y'all.
I've got something to say to her, but it ain't howdy.
Howdy, Myrtle. This here's Jud Clampett.
Hello, Jed. You handsome rascal. How are you?
Just fine, Myrtle. How's yourself?
Tolerable, Jed. Just tolerable. I'm getting old. The sands of time are running out on me. The pretty little apple-cheeked girl you used to know is just a wasted shell.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hear what, Jed?
Just a minute, Myrtle. She's ailing, Granny.
Big Mama, you was feeling fine just a minute ago. Shut up and get off the phone, blabbermouth.
Oh, Myrtle's got the tissic.
Tissic my foot. That's a whiskey wheeze if I ever heard one.
Come on now, say something now.
Sober up, you old bat.
What was that, Jed?
Oh, Granny said take care of yourself. What can we do to help you, Myrtle?
Oh, it's too late for me, Jed. But I do hope you'll help Roy to get my tonic business started out there. Has he talked to Bull Montana yet?
Well, I ain't sure, Myrtle, but for business advice, you ought to talk to Mr. Drysdale. That's a banker who takes care of my money.
Drysdale, you say? Huh? Melbourne? Drysdale. Commerce Bank. President? Well, nice-looking man, is he? I mean, good character and all?
He's a fine man and right handsome.
Thank you, Jed. You've given a dying widow new hope. Goodbye.
Sure you want a double day with me tonight, Roy?
Oh, yes, sir, Cousin Jethro. I figure I can learn a lot from a sheik like you.
All right. I won't be long.
You want me to come in with you?
No, please. If them girls sees me with you, I'll never get a date.
Oh, shucks. I ain't that good looking.
You just wait right here, Roy.
Hey, maybe I can sell a few bottles of Big Mama's tonic while I'm waiting.
Right here on the street? In Beverly Hills? Are you... Hey, that's a great idea. Yeah, put on a medicine show. Set up your stand right here on the sidewalk. Play your banjo and draw a great big crowd.
Do you reckon there's a chance that Bull Montana might come by?
Bull Montana?
Yeah, Mama wants an endorsement from a big movie star.
Yeah, sure he does. He comes by here so much, they call this here Bull Run. Howdy, Miss Jane.
Jethro, what brings you here?
Well, if it's all right with you, I'd like to take a dip in the secretarial pool and see what I come up with.
Jethro, dear boy, you must not be blinded by mere physical pulchritude. That sort of beauty is only skin deep.
Well, maybe so, but I like the way some of them skins is stuffed.
What are you looking at?
There's a crowd down there.
It's a sidewalk peddler.
Do they allow that in Beverly Hills?
Oh, I should say not. He'll be arrested within minutes.
Oh.
Gather around, folks. Right after this musical number, I'm going to pass amongst you with this here miracle from the mountains. Mother Myrtle's magic mixture. Before I start, is Bull Montana in the crowd? Not yet, huh? I'll dedicate this to him anyway, because he's Mama's favorite.
Right here, buddy. Let me see that.
Yes, sir. Men in uniform, half price for this wonderful tonic. Fills the body, lifts the spirit, and soothes the soul.
You know something, folks? He's right. Back in Missouri, before I took my first bottle of Mother Myrtle's, I was a 97-pound weakling.
All right, folks, step right up here. Yes.
Get the chief of police on the phone.
What's the trouble?
Some clown is peddling patent medicines in front of the bank, and I want to make a complaint.
Well, I saw a policeman down there. Why don't you complain to him?
I did. He made me buy 6 bottles.
Drysdale's office. One moment, please. There's a Mrs. Myrtle Halsey calling you long distance.
I don't know any Myrtle Halsey.
Mr. Clappett suggested that she call you. Oh.
Hello, Mrs. Halsey. What can I do for you?
Well, the first thing you can do is call me Myrtle.
Well, yeah, of course. If you call me Milburn.
Okay, Melbourne. Here's the scoop. I'm moving my business operations to the West Coast, and my dear friend Jed Clampett says you're just the man to help a rich young widower like me.
Well, indeed I am. Now, why don't you come out and we'll have a business conference?
Well, I don't know. Jed says you're a handsome devil.
Would you promise to keep it strictly business?
Absolutely.
Oh. Well, I'll come out anyway. I'm just dying to see Granny again. She's such a dear, sweet little old lady. She's always been like a mother to me.
See, I have an idea. Now, why don't you fly out as my guest and we'll surprise Granny?
Oh, that sounds like funsies. Will we make the Hollywood scene, Melby?
You bet we will, Mert. You start packing now.
All righty. Bye. Oh, Myrtle and Melby were lovers. Oh, how they did love.
All set, Granny. I borrowed Roy's sample case and made you a new sign.
Let's see it, boy. Dr. Daisy's death defiance. That's dandy. Now, help me cork these bottles and we'll take him back to where Roy was peddling his mama's poison.
What do we charge for it?
Nothing. Doctors don't care for money. My reward will be hearing the screams of dying victims turn to happy laughter. Look, Jethro, there's a victim laying on the sidewalk.
Looks like he's fooling with the fire hydrant.
Poor devil, just like a poison rat trying to get to water. Hurry, boy. We gotta save him. Help is here. Hurry. Hold him down. Help. He's going in the He got here just in time. That's the death rattle. Let him out. He's dosed. Oh, that's a good batch. Gets into the bloodstream real quick.
I'll set up your medicine stand, Granny.
Oh, fine, boy. Folks, who's the next to be saved? I am holding in my hand the only known antidote to Mad Dog Myrtle's murdering mixture. Step right up and take the cure. You all seen what it did for that little fella? He was laying here fighting for his life. But Dr. Daisy's death defier fetched him back from the brink of the grave.
And it's free.
Yours for the taking. Who wants to be saved? How about you, brother?
I think we need some music, Granny. That's how Roy done it.
Maybe you're right. Rock of Ages, clip for me. Let me hide myself in thee.
Don't you know something a little more cheerful?
We don't need it. Here comes a walking testimonial.
There they are. Be careful, though. They're nutty as fruitcakes. The big one held me, and the little one poured that goop down my throat.
Get right up here, little man, and tell the folks how this saved you when you was laying at death's door.
What is that stuff?
The only known cure for Mad Dog Myrtle's murdering mixture.
You talking about Mother Myrtle's magic mixture?
Have you had some?
Just finished the whole...
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, the bank's been a-calling you.
Yeah, they had a riot down there.
A riot in my bank?
Oh, no, sir, out front.
They grabbed a couple of dope peddlers.
In front of my bank? Pushers?
Well, I reckon you could call them that. They was pushing a bottle down a policeman's throat.
Gee, you better get down there.
Are you kidding? Those hopheads are dangerous. Let the police handle them.
Oh, the riot squad's done took him to jail.
Oh, but the bank wants you to call right away.
Well, I'll be late for the airport. Miss Hathaway.
Now, you go meet the plane and bring Myrtle, that is, the widow Halsey, to the Clampetts, so Granny and I can share the wonderful surprise of seeing her.
Well, what about Margaret?
Margaret who?
Your wife?
Oh, that's Margaret. What about her?
Well, surely you intend to tell Myrtle that you're married.
Oh, sure, after she goes home. Well, a rich widow deserves a few thrills. Besides, many a business deal has been made on the dance floor.
He's feeling real spry.
Looking real spry, too.
Ellie, honey, why don't you fetch Roy in to meet Mr. Drysdale?
Yes, sir, Pop.
Hello, Jack. Milburn. What's all this about a riot and dope peddlers? Oh, two of them, eh? Great big goofy-looking kid. Little old lady wearing a doctor's coat.
That sounds a heap like Jethro and Granny.
I'm glad they're here. They are here.
Oh, they went into town to peddle Granny's death-defying antidotes.
Jack, get over to jail right away and bail them out. I don't care what it costs. Hurry. Now, don't worry, Mr. Clabbett. They'll be here in no time.
Well, I ain't sure I want to be here. Granny's liable to be a mite peevish.
Oh, not for long. I've got a surprise that's going to make everything all right. One of her dearest friends is coming to see her.
Who's that?
Myrtle Halsey.
Myrtle Halsey?
Yes, the woman who's always been like a daughter to Granny.
Now I know I don't want to be here.
Wait till I get my hands on that Drysdale. I'll learn him to get me arrested. Who's that with Miss Jane?
Darned if I know.
Miss Jane's back.
With my widow.
Hi, Granny. It's Mad Dog Murder.
There he is, my lover boy. Oh, you're just my speech, Sonny. Where's the nearest love-in?
Where you going, Granny?
To fetch my shotgun. I'm going to perform a mercy killing.
Oh, wait a minute, Granny.
Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor, you may ride across the bar. Right in the corner where you are. Ah! Ellie! Ellie! Come get this thing out of here!
Granny, don't yell like that. You'll scare Daisy.
And don't call her Daisy. I don't want no buzzard named after me.
Oh, Granny, she likes you. Ain't you noticed how she keeps watching you?
At my age, it ain't no treat to have a buzzard watching you. Here, take these to the kitchen and commence ironing.
Oh, yes, sir. Come on, Daisy.
Not her. I don't allow no scavenger in my kitchen.
Well, what about...
That's different. Jethro is family.
Hey there, Mr. Drysdale. Granny, Ellie Mae, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane is here to see you.
Kid, will you tell your daughter to get rid of that big, ugly bird? It makes me nervous.
But, Granny...
We'll talk about that later. Mr. Drysdale says this is real important and can't wait.
Quite true, quite true. Oh, please sit down, everybody. I have an announcement of historical importance to make. Mr. Clabbett, members of your esteemed family, at the opening of business this morning, precisely 10 o'clock Pacific Daylight Savings Time, your balance in my bank reached the unprecedented figure of $80 million.
Granny, I'm hungry.
Mr. Drysdale's fixing to make an important announcement.
Yeah, I just made it. You have $80 million.
Oh.
Well, now, here's the really good news. In keeping with my policy of generosity, I have a free gift for you.
Mr. Drysdale, you don't have to.
No. It's a tradition with my bank. Every depositor whose balance reaches $80 million is automatically eligible. Please, Miss Hathaway.
Not going through with this farce.
The gift, please, Miss Hathaway. This is no time to think of expense. With my compliments.
Well, doggies, would you look at that? What is it?
It's a genuine imported Oriental magic music maker.
Huh? Dog! Japanese transistor radio.
All it needs is a battery.
I'll get
Mr. Drysdale, you didn't have to get us that.
Tut,
It's the least I can do.
The very least.
Well, you done all the work, taking care of our money. Seems like we ought to give you a present.
I got just the thing for him. You like big birds, Mr. Drysdale?
I ain't giving him Daisy.
Granny, that's a mighty poor reward for all Mr. Drysdale done. Taking care of our money for 6 years must have been a mighty heavy burden.
Well, I can't deny that it has cost me many sleepless nights. Spun a few silver threads among the gold, added lines to a once youthful face, and caused a slight tremor to a once steady hand.
Hope you ain't gonna be sick.
I wish I could say the same. Come along, silver-haired daddy. Time for your nap.
What do you mean, nap? I didn't build this man a fortune by sleeping. Semper paratus, always ready. Others may work from sun to sun, but banker's work is never done.
Mr. Drysdale, you take it easy. Don't overdo it.
My advice exactly.
What better way to go? I regret that I have but one life to give to my largest depositor.
All right, Nathan.
And when that big banker in the sky calls my final loan, let my epitaph read, he never met a millionaire he didn't like.
Yes, it seems a sensible thing to do is to take the $80 million and bury it in the backyard.
Get awful moldy.
How can it?
Granny, I still don't think it's a good idea to put money in the ground.
It's better than putting Mr. Drysdale there.
Something wrong with Mr. Drysdale?
Yeah, Jethro. Poor man has wore himself to a frazzle worrying about my money.
And we's trying to figure what to do with it.
I can tell you what to do with it. You can give it to England.
England?
They hurting for money?
They so bad off, they done sold their queen.
No.
Sold their queen?
Yes, sir. I heard it on Mr. Drysdale's radio. The city of Philadelphia has bought Queen Elizabeth and is fixing to tie her to the dock for a tourist attraction.
I can't believe it.
You greening us, boy?
No, sir. I heard it.
Turn that thing on again.
News is over now. Can't get but one station.
Seems to me, if England was in that much trouble, we'd have heard something from them folks in our castle.
Let's have Jethro write 'em. Get the story firsthand.
I can beat that. Hello, operator? This is Sir Jethro de Bodine, head varlet to the Earl of Clampton. Put me through to our castle in England.
Ask for Major Domo.
Yeah, England. Word has reached our royal ears that the rabble has hawked the queen. We might have to come over there and flog a bunch of them rascals.
I'll handle it, boy. Yes, ma'am. That's Clampett Castle in Kent, England. What is it they say over there instead of howdy?
Faversham.
Yeah, that's it.
Would you hold on a minute, please? Oh, Mr. Faversham, sir. I think you'd better take this call. It's from the United States.
Yes?
This is Jed Clampett speaking. Is that you, Mr. Domo?
Faversham, sir. Faversham.
Well, Faversham to you.
Faversham, Mr. Domo.
Yeah, I was, Granny. Listen, Major, we just wondered how everybody's getting along over there.
Oh, quite well, sir, thank you, considering the fact we're running the castle with a skeleton staff.
They got trouble, all right. Their servants is down to skin and bone.
Oh, we don't care nothing about them oafs and serfs. How much did Philadelphia give you for the queen?
I hope you'll excuse Jethro. He heard some wild story about selling Queen Elizabeth to Philadelphia. I reckon ain't no truth to it.
Well, yes, sir. As a matter of fact, we've sold both our queens.
Don't say.
What is it, Jed?
They done sold Queen Mary to Long Beach.
It's a revolution, right? The rabble has rose up and is getting rid of royalty. Dukes and earls is next, and that's us.
Yep.
We got to rally around the queen and put down this uprising. To arms! To arms!
Mr. Capet, sir. Mr. Capet.
Yes?
I heard Master Jethro's outburst. It's only Her Majesty's ships that have been sold.
Oh. Well, things ain't quite as bad as we thought, but it's hurting for money, all right. The Queen sold her Navy. Well, don't let her sell nothing else. Maybe things will get... What's that? Done sold London Bridge, too?
Poor woman, Jed. We've got to help her.
Well, I got a feeling things is going to pick up. I hope the Queen still got her health.
Oh, yes, indeed, sir. And Her Majesty is spending this week at the Royal Preserves.
I see. Well, maybe we'll be paying you a visit soon, Mr. Domo.
Faversham, sir.
Faversham to you. You know, two ways about it, Granny. Things is rough. You know what the Queen is spending this week doing?
What?
Putting up preserves.
There ain't no time to lose, Jed. You gotta take your money out of the bank and head for England.
Yep, looks like we can save Mr. Drysdale and the Queen at the same time.
Chief, the guard just called and said Granny and Mr. Clampett are all the way up.
Quick. Hide this. And get your mascara.
The mascara?
Yes, I want some dark shadows under my eyes. I haven't had a good night's sleep in 6 years, remember?
Chief, not that corny act again.
Well, it worked, didn't it? I practically had them in tears. Now do as I say.
Mr. Drysdale?
Yes? Who is it?
Hey, Jed Clampett.
Oh, so it is. You'll have to excuse me, sir. A bad case of banker's squint. Adding up those figures day and night. 6 years. Oh, excuse me, sir.
Mr. Drysdale, I know you've been toting a crushing burden, but I got good news for you.
Good news?
I'm going to take my $80 million out of your bank. Bet you in the wheelbarrow, Granny. Well, doggy, it worked already. He's sure sleeping now, isn't he?
Just like a baby.
Where am I? What's going on?
You fainted.
Fainted?
Oh, you were in a deep coma. It took a 20 to bring you out of it.
I'm not the type who faints. What happened?
Well, Mr. Clampett told you he was withdrawing his $80 million. I'd better open a window.
No. Lock it. I might jump.
Better hide my tie and belt, too.
You know, of course, you brought this on yourself.
How?
That financial fatigue act. Mr. Clampett felt sorry for you.
Where is he?
Waiting in my office.
Mr. Clampett.
Hey, that nap sure done wonders for you.
Oh, I never felt better in my life.
Well, it must be a relief getting $80 million off your back.
No, please, don't take it.
Mr. Drysdale, you said yourself that it's a crushing burden.
But I'm used to it. I'm a banker. But it would finish you in no time.
Well, it ain't gonna be no burden to me. I'm giving it away.
Giving it away?
Yes, you see, there is a certain lady that's in trouble.
Oh, I see. Well, how much does she want?
Well, I reckon all she can lay her hands on.
Yes, I know the type.
Leastwise, I aim to give her all I got.
All 80 million?
Well, to this lady, that's just a drop in the bucket.
She must have some bucket.
If you knew who she was.
Who is she?
Well, I don't know if she'd want me to say. She's a mighty high-placed woman.
And high price, too. What's her name?
Keep it yourself?
I promise.
Well.
Queen Elizabeth!
Drysdale, you promise.
Mr. Clampett, I assure you the Queen of England is a very wealthy woman.
Once was, maybe, but things is kind of rough. I've looked into the matter.
Jed, them goobers downstairs won't give us no money without you signing a check.
All right. Ask Miss Jane to get us 4 tickets to London.
No! I won't let you.
You won't let us.
Mr. Drysdale, it's my money.
What I meant was that you just can't walk up to Buckingham Palace and hand the Queen money. She's too proud to accept charity.
Oh, we know that.
Good!
We're going to put it in plain gunny sacks and throw it over the wall.
Wait a minute. Miss Clampett, Granny. A thing like this has to be handled with great diplomacy. Now, I have some connections with the British Embassy, and I'll have them get in touch with you.
Well, we do want to handle it the right way.
Yes. Well, you go home and leave everything to me.
All right. Up on, Granny.
And don't take the freeway this time, Jed. That tailgating makes me nervous.
Miss Hathaway,
Chief?
I want you to get me the finest British actor money can buy.
Well, how much money are you talking about?
I'll go as high as $10.
What, are you serious?
Look, this is no time to pinch pennies.
How long are you going to be, mate? This wig's due back at the studio at 5 o'clock.
Well, at the rate Mr. Drysdale is paying me, my performance should run about 2 minutes.
Dad! Dad! The Englishman is here.
Granny, we got to be careful how we talk to that fella. Mr. Drysdale says he's a Queen's minister.
I never seen no preacher dressed like him. Satin breeches, lace cuffs, all kinds of fancy trappings.
Likely Episcopalian.
And come in a big stage coat.
Well, Granny, hay is cheaper than gasoline. And I reckon they don't pay their preachers no better than we pay ours.
Ted, so it won't surprise you. His hair is white as snow.
Probably been doing a heap of worrying about the Queen.
Yeah.
Come in, come in.
Thank you.
Iversham.
Montreux. Is Mr. Clampett around?
Well, I'm Jed Clampett, and this here is Granny.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you, Reverend.
Reverend?
Well, Mr. Drysdale said you was the Queen's minister.
Minister of Finance.
He must take up the collection.
Here is my identification and my authority to act on the Queen's behalf.
Well, come on in the parlor and sit down.
No, I'm afraid I haven't the time. But Mr. Drysdale tells me that you wish to present the Queen with a gift of some sort.
Well, we heard that the Queen...
But unfortunately, Her Majesty is not allowed to accept gifts. But on the Queen's behalf, I thank you for whatever it is you had in mind for her. Good day.
Well, what we had in mind was $80 million.
What did you say? $80 million.
Didn't Mr. Drysdale tell you? It's sitting in his bank. And Jed is more than happy for the Queen to have it.
Now, Granny, if the Queen can't take it...
There may be a way. Excuse me while I talk to my chief of protocol. Well, you may return to the studio, you chaps. It looks as though the bit part I'm playing is going to turn into a very meaty role.
Oh, and what kind of a role is it?
A bankroll.
I hope you don't mind doing your talking in the kitchen.
Not at all.
I ain't nosy. I just want to hear everything.
Well, anyway, as I was saying, after the oil company gave me all them millions, Cousin Pearl talked me into moving out of the little old cabin and coming out here to Beverly Hills.
I see.
Been here ever since, except for a couple of weeks we spent in England in our castle.
You own a castle in England?
Yes, sir. The folks are mighty nice to us there. That's one reason we're so anxious to help the Queen.
We'll think of a way.
Of course, it's got to be done so it wouldn't seem like charity. We wouldn't want to hurt her pride none.
Naturally. But the castle solves the problem.
It does?
As a British landowner, you are qualified to purchase royal real estate.
Well, that's fine, but how's that help?
Well, as you know, Her Majesty has vast real estate holdings all over the world, but she's eaten up with taxes.
Well, what they call a land pool.
And I could make you a fabulous price on one of the Crown colonies.
Here's your tea, Parson.
Would you like to buy Hong Kong?
Hong Kong?
That's that big ape that carried off Fay Ray.
Hong Kong is on the coast of China.
Well, to tell the truth, I ain't too keen on buying a Chinese ape. Let's get back to the real estate.
Oh, fine. Would you be interested in Australia? Or perhaps India?
I might.
Well, if you like islands, I could make you a very good price on Borneo.
Doggone, I wish I knew more about these things. Granny and me ain't had much schooling.
Jed!
Oh, good. There's Jethro. He's the educated member of the family.
He is?
Jed!
Out here in the kitchen, boy.
On second thoughts, I better check those rights. There may be a second mortgage on Borneo.
Jed, tell that lady to let me take her buzzer to England so we can hunt rabble from the truck.
Well, we'll talk about that later, boy. This here is the Queen's minister.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Reverend.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Jethro.
Uncle Jed, we gotta take the buzzard. I already sent the truck over.
You sent the truck to England?
Yes, sir. Put on one of them great big cargo planes, so it'll be waiting when we get there.
How many times have I told you I don't allow buzzers in here?
You know something? There's a lot of folks that feels that way. Did you ever try hitchhiking from the airport, wearing a suit of armor and toting a buzzard?
Strangely enough, I never have.
Well, no. Everybody slowed down, but nobody stopped.
Oh, what's done is done. Jethro, I need your advice on buying some royal real estate.
Royal real estate?
It's a way of helping the Queen. Now, the parson here has given me my choice of Australia, India, or Borneo.
Uh-oh. Be careful, Uncle Jed. This rascal's foxing you.
Jethro, he's a man of the cloth.
Oh, yeah. And he's pulling it over your eyes.
Explain yourself, boy.
He's holding out the best place. Make him sell you Canada.
You're right, Mr. Clampett. He's the educated member of the family.
Graduated in 6th grade.
Well, I must confess I was holding out Canada till the last.
Well, I can't fault you for that, parson. You were just looking out for the Queen. Good trader always keeps the best horse in the barn.
Well, I'm glad you understand. Very well, sir. Canada it is.
Make him put in the riding, Uncle Jed. And see to it that he gives you the title to Canada. You'll need that when you go to subdivide.
Well, I don't aim to do that.
No, but the boy's right. Everything must be perfectly honest and legal. Now, if you have a pen, I will transfer title right above the Queen's signature.
Good. Then I'll pay the tax on it and give it back to her. I'll call Mr. Drysdale and have him make out the check.
No. That won't be necessary. I trust you. You trust me. Just let me have whatever cash you have as good faith money.
Well, I don't know how much I got here, but...
That'll do perfectly. Thank you, and there's the title.
Mr. Clampett, Jethro told me about shipping the truck to England, but don't worry, I'll have it back on the next plane.
Oh, no need to do that. We's going over ourselves quick as Miss Jane gets us a ticket.
Oh, but there's no need to go now. Didn't the Queen's minister come to see you?
Sure did. Dandy fella. Nice man to do business with, too.
Business?
Sold me Canada for $80 million and a handful of cash.
You bought Canada, Jed?
His Jethro deserves the credit. Hadn't been for him, I might have wound up with Borneo. Mr. Drysdale, why don't you, Mr. Doggy. All it takes to catch him up on his sleep is little good news.
The opening of the story immediately establishes the wonderfully peculiar comic world of the Clampett household, where an ordinary object can become the center of an extraordinary argument. Granny has become fascinated by a crystal ball and confidently insists that it can reveal the future, while the people around her remain skeptical of her sudden enthusiasm. Her conviction is so complete that skepticism only encourages her to defend the supposed power more passionately. This is classic Granny comedy. She does not approach her belief cautiously or tentatively. Instead, she embraces it with absolute certainty, transforming a simple conversation into a miniature battle between imagination and common sense. Granny's determination is especially funny because the crystal ball itself is treated with an almost ceremonial importance that the surrounding characters simply do not share. She speaks as though she has acquired a mysterious instrument of genuine supernatural significance, while the conversation repeatedly exposes how little evidence she actually possesses. The comedy comes from the enormous difference between her confidence and everyone else's reaction. Her enthusiasm makes the object seem important because she insists that it is important. In this way, the crystal ball becomes more than a prop. It becomes an extension of Granny's personality, embodying her stubborn imagination and her irresistible desire to believe that she has discovered something extraordinary. The physical comedy surrounding the discussion gives the opening an additional layer of energy. Characters move, interrupt one another, argue across the room, and react with increasingly exaggerated disbelief, creating the kind of overlapping domestic chaos that suits the Clampetts perfectly. Granny's confidence does not require a solemn presentation. Instead, it thrives amid movement, impatience, and verbal confusion. The imagined power of the crystal ball therefore clashes amusingly with the everyday reality of the household. A sophisticated fortune teller might create an atmosphere of mystery and silence, but Granny creates noise, argument, and commotion. That contrast is precisely what makes the premise so charmingly appropriate for her character. What makes Granny particularly effective in this material is the complete seriousness with which she treats her own intuition. She does not behave like someone playing a game. She believes that she has been entrusted with a genuine gift and begins to speak of prediction almost as a responsibility. Her confidence carries an unmistakable moral dimension because she imagines that such knowledge should be used for the benefit of others. This combination of self-importance and good intentions is central to the character's humor. Granny may misunderstand the world around her, but she rarely approaches it with selfish cruelty. Even when her ideas become ridiculous, her motivation remains rooted in the desire to help. The early exchange also establishes the comic relationship between Granny and Judd. Judd's responses provide the calm, grounded counterweight to Granny's excitement. He does not need to defeat her argument aggressively because his relaxed skepticism is funny enough on its own. His presence gives the audience a perspective from which Granny's certainty can be appreciated without becoming mean-spirited. The contrast between them is one of the great strengths of the Clampett ensemble. Granny races toward fantastic explanations, while Judd tends to remain close to practical reality. Yet Judd never loses affection for her, and that emotional warmth prevents the disagreement from becoming hostile. Their comedy works because the audience can feel the family bond underneath every argument. The crystal ball also provides an opportunity for the performers to build comedy through reaction rather than dialogue alone. Granny can study the object intensely, gesture toward it with confidence, and react to invisible revelations as though an entire supernatural universe were unfolding before her eyes. Meanwhile, the others can answer with blank expressions, puzzled looks, or restrained disbelief. Those reactions are essential to the rhythm because they allow the audience to enjoy two realities at once: Granny's imagined world and the ordinary household surrounding her. Irene Ryan's physical expressiveness is particularly important here. A slight change in posture, an emphatic gesture, or a sudden look of certainty can turn an otherwise simple line into a complete comic performance. The dialogue in this opening repeatedly turns the idea of seeing the future into a source of playful verbal competition. Granny's opponents question whether she can really predict anything, and she responds by becoming even more determined to prove them wrong. The pattern is beautifully suited to sitcom escalation because every challenge gives her another reason to continue. Rather than allowing doubt to end the conversation, skepticism becomes fuel for her imagination. The more people question her, the more seriously she takes herself. This creates a comic feedback loop in which Granny's confidence grows precisely because everyone else refuses to accept it. The result is affectionate absurdity rather than simple ridicule. Another appealing element is the way the script treats Granny's supposed supernatural ability as something emerging unexpectedly from ordinary domestic life. There is no grand mystical setting, only the familiar Clampett environment and a household conversation that gradually becomes more elaborate. That approach reflects the larger comic philosophy of the series. Extraordinary situations often begin with something completely ordinary. A household object, a casual remark, or a misunderstanding can suddenly become the foundation for an elaborate fantasy. Granny is the perfect character for this mechanism because her imagination requires very little encouragement. Give her an unusual object and a few minutes of attention, and she can construct an entire explanation around it. The opening therefore succeeds not because the audience is expected to believe that the crystal ball possesses genuine supernatural power, but because Granny believes it with such wholehearted conviction. The humor depends on the audience understanding her sincerity. She is not knowingly deceiving everyone for amusement. She is fascinated by the possibility that she may actually possess an unusual ability, and that possibility excites her enormously. This makes the performance warmer and more engaging. Her confidence is ridiculous, but it is also endearing. The comedy invites viewers to laugh at the situation while remaining emotionally attached to the woman at its center, preserving the wholesome character humor that defines the Clampett family. By the end of this opening movement, the crystal ball has become firmly established as the source of Granny's new fascination, and the household has been drawn into her increasingly confident belief that she can see things others cannot. The important comic foundation is now in place. Granny possesses absolute faith in her supposed gift, while the people around her remain unconvinced and amused by her certainty. The tension is gentle but effective, because everyone understands that Granny will not simply abandon the idea when challenged. Her curiosity has become determination, and determination is quickly becoming obsession. With the crystal ball now occupying such an important place in her imagination, the next exchange naturally promises to test whether her remarkable confidence can survive contact with an actual prediction. The first genuine test of Granny's supposed gift arrives when she confidently turns her attention toward a woman back home. She explains that she has recently had a strange feeling about this woman and believes she can see something that has not yet happened. Her claim becomes remarkably specific. The woman will have twins, and Granny even insists that she has somehow seen the names they will be given. The comedy comes from the sheer improbability of the statement, especially because Granny does not present it as a guess. She treats the information as something that simply came to her, as though the crystal ball has opened a direct window into another person's future. The people around Granny naturally remain doubtful, and their skepticism gives her an opportunity to explain the mysterious nature of her new ability. She insists that nobody could have told her the information because she has not received a letter from home in months. Her certainty is strengthened by the fact that she remembers no ordinary conversation that could have supplied the details. This makes her conviction even more amusing because she interprets the absence of an obvious explanation as proof of supernatural power. Rather than reconsidering her conclusion, Granny moves immediately toward the most exciting possibility. She must be a genuine seer. Her confidence becomes particularly entertaining when she begins explaining that she has not merely guessed the future, but has somehow been given a responsibility. Granny sees the supposed gift as something larger than personal entertainment. She declares that such knowledge ought to be used for the good of mankind, transforming a domestic curiosity into a grand moral mission. The joke works because the language of heroic responsibility is wildly disproportionate to the humble setting and Granny's eccentric personality. Jed and the others can hear the absurdity immediately, while Granny remains completely sincere. Her imagination has already expanded the crystal ball from a household curiosity into a source of almost sacred authority. The sequence also reveals why Granny is such an effective center for this kind of comedy. She possesses an extraordinary ability to move from uncertainty to absolute conviction without stopping in between. One moment she is describing something she has sensed, and the next, she is defending the existence of a supernatural gift as though the matter has already been scientifically established. Irene Ryan's performance is essential to the effect. Granny's facial expressions, gestures, sudden changes in posture, and emphatic delivery can make every outrageous assertion seem completely reasonable from Granny's perspective. The audience laughs not because Granny is foolish, but because she is so gloriously certain of herself. Once Granny believes she can see the future, she naturally begins experimenting on the people closest to her. Her attention turns toward Miss Jane, and the prediction is that she will receive a raise from Mr. Drysdale. Miss Jane's response carries the dry skepticism that makes her such an effective contrast to Granny. She already understands Mr. Drysdale well enough to know that asking him for more money is likely to produce an explosive reaction. Granny, however, interprets the situation differently and confidently suggests that Miss Jane is destined to receive a substantial financial improvement. The contrast between Jane's practical knowledge and Granny's mystical certainty creates an immediate comic tension. Granny then turns the crystal ball toward Jed and announces a prediction about his future domestic happiness. She sees him settling down with a beautiful woman who will raise his children and take good care of him. Jed's reaction is characteristically restrained. He does not become fascinated by the prophecy or argue passionately against it. Instead, he accepts Granny's pronouncement with the patient good humor that defines his relationship with her. The joke is strengthened by Granny's eagerness to continue while Jed appears ready for the subject to end. Her enthusiasm keeps pushing the conversation forward, creating the feeling that once Granny begins seeing visions, nobody in the household will be able to stop her. Granny is not satisfied with only a couple of predictions. She immediately wants to continue while she believes her prophetic powers are active, moving from one family member to another with increasing excitement. Her behavior has the rhythm of a performer who has discovered an audience and suddenly wants to give them an entire show. The others become increasingly cautious because every new prediction creates another opportunity for confusion. Yet Granny sees their reactions as encouragement rather than warning. The more they listen, the more convinced she becomes that the crystal ball is revealing genuine information. Her confidence therefore grows through the very attention that everyone else gives her. The arrival of a long-distance telephone call from the woman back home gives the prediction an immediate dramatic test. Granny is eager to speak with her and, more importantly, eager to tell her about the extraordinary gift she believes she has discovered. The conversation becomes funny because Granny simultaneously treats the information as a secret and wants everyone to know about it. That contradiction perfectly captures her personality. She cannot resist sharing her excitement, yet she understands that a secret is supposed to remain private. Her warning that she wants people back home to know about her powers only makes this supposed secrecy more ridiculous. The telephone conversation finally provides the confirmation Granny has been waiting for. The woman from back home reveals that the prediction about twins has indeed come true, including the details Granny claims to have seen. For Granny, this is no longer an amusing possibility. It is proof. Her astonishment quickly transforms into triumph, because the coincidence appears far too precise for her to dismiss. The others may still search for an ordinary explanation, but Granny has already reached her conclusion. Her reaction is the emotional payoff of the entire setup. She has moved from curiosity about the crystal ball to absolute belief that she possesses authentic powers of prophecy. What makes the revelation especially effective is that the script allows Granny's confidence to become dramatically larger without resolving the mystery immediately. She has received precisely the kind of confirmation she needed, and now the crystal ball seems to possess undeniable authority in her mind. The household can no longer dismiss her enthusiasm as a passing fascination, because the prediction has apparently matched reality in an astonishing way. Granny therefore stands at the threshold of a much more ambitious experiment with her supposed gift, eager to discover whether the same mysterious power can reveal what lies ahead for the people around her. With Granny's confidence now strengthened by the astonishing confirmation of her prediction, the crystal ball takes on an entirely different importance within the household. She no longer treats it as a curious object that might occasionally reveal something interesting. Instead, she regards it as a dependable source of knowledge about what is going to happen. Her excitement is infectious even when the others remain cautious because she speaks with such complete conviction that every prediction sounds like an established fact. The comedy lies in watching Granny move effortlessly from one successful coincidence to the assumption that she has mastered the future itself. Granny's next predictions become more personal, which makes the situation increasingly entertaining for everyone involved. She begins examining the futures of people around her as though she has been appointed the household's private oracle. Her attention shifts toward the possibilities awaiting Jethro, Miss Jane, and Mr. Drysdale, and she interprets whatever she sees through the peculiar logic of her own imagination. Each prediction is delivered with an almost official certainty. There is no hesitation, qualification, or suggestion that she might be mistaken. The crystal ball has apparently spoken, and Granny considers herself merely the messenger responsible for passing its wisdom along. The prediction concerning Miss Jane is particularly revealing because Granny's supernatural certainty collides with Jane's practical knowledge of Mr. Drysdale. Granny foresees a financial improvement for Miss Jane, treating the coming raise as something already determined by fate. Miss Jane, however, understands that money decisions in Drysdale's office are rarely that simple. Her skeptical reaction creates one of the script's most effective contrasts. Granny believes the future is fixed and visible, while Jane understands that ordinary human decisions are complicated and unpredictable. The humor comes from Granny's refusal to acknowledge the distinction because she interprets every objection as evidence that other people simply do not understand her gift. The situation becomes even more amusing because Granny's predictions begin influencing the behavior of the people who hear them. Once a prediction has been announced, everyone becomes conscious of the possibility that it might actually occur. That awareness creates a subtle comic trap. The characters are no longer merely observers of Granny's belief, they are now participating in the circumstances surrounding it. Granny watches for signs that her vision is coming true, while everyone else watches Granny watching them. This layered awareness gives the scenes a rich sitcom rhythm, allowing ordinary conversations to become charged with suspicion, anticipation, and the possibility of another apparently miraculous confirmation. Jethro is an especially useful target for Granny's prophetic enthusiasm because his innocent confidence makes him unusually receptive to extraordinary ideas. He does not always understand sophisticated matters, yet he often accepts complicated claims with remarkable seriousness when they are presented confidently. Granny's predictions therefore encounter little resistance from him. Instead, they encourage him to imagine what his future might hold. The resulting comedy depends upon the contrast between the grand possibilities suggested by Granny's crystal ball and Jethro's simple understanding of the world. His reactions allow the performers to stretch the premise without making Jethro deliberately foolish. His sincerity remains the source of the humor. Mr. Drysdale's involvement introduces another important contrast. He is accustomed to dealing with money, investments, and business decisions through calculation, records, and professional judgment. Yet Granny approaches the future through visions and intuition. Her confidence in the crystal ball therefore challenges the kind of authority Drysdale normally trusts. The irony is that the supposedly sophisticated banker can become just as vulnerable to confusion when Granny presents her predictions with enough certainty. The script uses this contrast affectionately, showing how quickly the polished world of Beverly Hills can be unsettled by the Clampetts' unusual way of interpreting events. As more predictions are discussed, Granny's behavior becomes increasingly energetic. She studies the crystal ball, interprets what she believes she sees, and immediately begins connecting those impressions to the lives of the people around her. Her physical acting is central to the comedy. Irene Ryan can make Granny lean toward the object with intense concentration, suddenly straighten when inspiration arrives, or deliver a prediction with the authority of someone announcing an unavoidable historical event. Those movements turn the crystal ball into a theatrical partner. Granny is not merely talking about prophecy, she is performing the role of a prophet, and the physical commitment makes her belief irresistibly funny. The growing number of predictions also reveals Granny's tendency to treat coincidence as confirmation. Once she has correctly predicted something significant, every subsequent event becomes potential evidence supporting her theory. A small resemblance between an expectation and reality can become, in her mind, proof that the crystal ball is functioning again. This is an important part of the character comedy because Granny does not need an elaborate supernatural explanation. She creates one herself by connecting unrelated events into a pattern that makes sense to her. The audience can recognize the mistake while still appreciating the warmth and confidence with which she constructs her explanation. Jed remains the stabilizing presence as Granny's confidence expands. His patience prevents the scenes from becoming merely chaotic because his reactions give the audience a quiet emotional reference point. He listens, considers what Granny says, and responds without humiliating her or treating her beliefs with cruelty. That gentleness is crucial to the show's tone. The Clampetts may argue, misunderstand one another, and become involved in increasingly improbable situations, but their affection remains intact. Judd's calm presence allows Granny's exuberance to become a source of family comedy rather than conflict, preserving the wholesome quality beneath the absurdity. By the close of this sequence, Granny has moved far beyond simple curiosity. She now sees her predictions as a genuine ability and is increasingly willing to trust what she believes the crystal ball reveals. The household has become an unwilling audience for her experiments, while each new prediction seems capable of producing another surprising coincidence. The dramatic tension remains playful because Granny's sincerity is never in doubt. What matters now is whether the future she believes she can see will continue to cooperate with her expectations. Her confidence has reached a point where every new event can become evidence, leaving the crystal ball poised to influence the household even more strongly as Granny continues following what she believes it is telling her. Granny's growing faith in the crystal ball now changes the way she approaches ordinary events. Instead of simply predicting what may happen, she begins to wonder whether her visions can somehow be encouraged to happen. This subtle shift is important to the comedy because Granny no longer sees herself as a passive observer of destiny. She starts thinking like an active participant in the future. If the crystal ball has shown her that something is supposed to occur, she reasons that there can be no harm in helping fate along. Her confidence turns prophecy into a practical household project, and the distinction between prediction and interference begins to disappear. Miss Jane's supposed financial future becomes the clearest example of this new attitude. Granny has predicted that Jane will receive a raise, but rather than waiting patiently to discover whether the vision is accurate, she begins thinking about how such a result might be brought about. The comedy comes from Granny's absolute certainty that she is not interfering with destiny at all. In her mind, she is merely making sure that the future she has already seen is allowed to happen. Her reasoning is wonderfully circular. Because she predicted the raise must happen, and because it must happen, she feels perfectly justified in taking steps to make it happen. This approach creates an amusing contrast between Granny's old-fashioned confidence and Miss Jane's professional understanding of Mr. Drysdale. Jane knows that a raise is a serious matter involving business judgment, salary structures, and Drysdale's notoriously careful attitude toward money. Granny sees none of those complications. To her, the matter has already been settled by the crystal ball. The result is a classic misunderstanding between two systems of logic. Jane operates according to practical experience, while Granny operates according to an unquestionable vision. Because Granny genuinely believes she's helping, her interference remains affectionate even as it threatens to make a perfectly ordinary financial question much more complicated. Mr. Drysdale becomes especially vulnerable to Granny's new philosophy because money is the language through which he understands nearly everything. Granny's prophecy about a race, therefore, touches the very world in which Drysdale believes he possesses authority. Yet her certainty unsettles that authority because she treats the outcome as something already determined. The humor is heightened by Drysdale's natural tendency to panic whenever the Clampetts become involved with financial decisions. Granny does not share his anxiety. She approaches money with the same confidence she applies to medicine, prophecy, or family matters. Her certainty makes the supposedly sophisticated banker seem increasingly reactive beside her. The situation becomes even more amusing when Granny's attention turns toward Jethro and the possibilities surrounding his future. Jethro is naturally fascinated by the idea that he might become successful, especially when the prediction appears to suggest that wealth or investment could play a role in his future. His enthusiasm is sincere rather than calculating. He wants to understand what his supposed destiny means, but his understanding of sophisticated financial ideas is limited. That limitation becomes a major source of comic energy because Granny's prophecy gives him confidence without necessarily giving him knowledge. The two characters therefore reinforce each other's optimism, producing an increasingly ambitious interpretation of what the future might hold. Jethro's confidence also allows the script to play with the absurdity of investment language. Concepts that would normally require careful explanation can be transformed into simple opportunities in Jethro's mind. He listens to financial possibilities with the same open enthusiasm that he brings to nearly every new idea. Granny, meanwhile, sees his enthusiasm as further evidence that her prediction is working. The result is a comic partnership between two characters who approach complicated subjects with enormous confidence and very little caution. Their sincerity keeps the material warm. Neither character is trying to deceive anyone. They simply believe that the future is offering them a remarkably promising opportunity. The stagecoach investment becomes especially useful as a comic symbol because it combines Jethro's excitement with the Clampetts' tendency to interpret modern financial schemes through familiar rural ideas. The investment sounds grand and potentially profitable, yet the reasoning behind it is filtered through Jethro's enthusiastic imagination. Granny's prediction gives the idea an almost magical legitimacy. If the crystal ball has revealed success, then Jethro sees little reason to question the details. This is where the comedy of character becomes more important than the financial mechanics themselves. The audience recognizes that confidence is not the same thing as understanding, while Jethro remains delighted by the possibility that fortune may be waiting for him. Granny's role in the investment discussion is equally revealing because she treats financial success as another event that can be encouraged by belief. Her supposed prophetic gift has begun to affect her behavior in every area of family life. She is no longer satisfied with observing what the crystal ball supposedly shows. She wants to help arrange circumstances so that the prediction will be fulfilled exactly as she understands it. That determination gives the scenes their comic momentum. Granny's interference is motivated by optimism, but optimism becomes dangerous when combined with absolute certainty. The more convinced she becomes, the less reason she sees to question whether her actions might produce unexpected consequences. Jed once again provides an important emotional balance to the increasingly complicated situation. His practical nature makes him naturally cautious about schemes that sound too elaborate, yet he remains patient with both Granny and Jethro. Rather than humiliating them for their enthusiasm, he listens and attempts to understand what they believe they are doing. This gentle response is essential to the family comedy. Jed's calmness prevents the financial discussion from becoming merely a joke about foolishness. Instead, it becomes another affectionate portrait of a family whose members approach the world in radically different ways while remaining united by trust and loyalty. His reactions also give the audience space to appreciate the absurdity without losing sympathy for the characters. By this stage, Granny's belief in prophecy has evolved into a powerful new conviction. Seeing the future is not enough unless she also takes responsibility for helping that future arrive. The predicted raise, Jethro's ambitions, and the increasingly elaborate investment possibilities all reinforce her feeling that the crystal ball has given her useful knowledge. Jethro is eager to follow the opportunities appearing before him, while Granny is eager to make sure the visions she trusts do not fail. Their shared confidence creates a comic sense of momentum because each decision seems to confirm the previous one. The household is therefore moving deeper into Granny's interpretation of destiny, with her certainty continuing to guide what everyone believes may happen next. Jethro's growing enthusiasm for investment gives the family's financial conversations a distinctly comic energy because he approaches complicated business opportunities with the confidence of someone who has already decided that success is inevitable. The stagecoach investment becomes particularly amusing in this respect. To Jethro, the idea appears to represent a straightforward path toward a tremendous fortune, while the details that might concern a more experienced investor seem almost secondary. His optimism is strengthened by Granny's certainty that the future has already revealed good things for him. Together, their confidence creates an atmosphere in which financial speculation begins to sound less like business and more like an extension of the family's belief in destiny. The stagecoach idea also fits perfectly with Jethro's habit of translating unfamiliar concepts into something that feels immediately understandable. Rather than becoming intimidated by financial terminology, he embraces it with the same cheerful certainty he brings to every new ambition. The comedy is not simply that Jethro lacks sophisticated knowledge, it is that he possesses such enormous confidence despite that limitation. His enthusiasm makes every investment sound exciting and obvious. The contrast between his innocent reasoning and the seriousness with which financial matters are normally discussed gives the sequence its distinctive sitcom flavor, especially because the Clampetts' enormous wealth makes even an innocent misunderstanding financially significant. Granny's influence remains important because she sees Jethro's enthusiasm as confirmation that her prophetic vision is guiding him toward success. Instead of questioning whether the investment itself is sensible, she concentrates on whether events are unfolding according to what she believes she is seeing. This allows the comedy to operate on two levels at once. Jethro is fascinated by the possibility of becoming even wealthier, while Granny is fascinated by the possibility of proving that her mysterious gift is genuine. Neither character approaches the situation with cynicism. Their sincerity makes the financial speculation feel strangely wholesome even as their confidence threatens to carry them into increasingly complicated territory. Jed's reaction provides the necessary counterbalance to their excitement. He understands that having money does not automatically make every investment a wise one, and his practical instincts naturally make him more cautious. Yet, Jed rarely responds with harsh criticism. His calm manner allows Jethro to express his ambitions without turning the family conversation into a confrontation. This is one of the reasons Buddy Ebsen's performance is so important to the ensemble. Jed does not need exaggerated gestures to generate laughter. His patient pauses, puzzled expressions, and quiet responses create a relaxed center around which Granny's certainty and Jethro's enthusiasm can whirl. The humor becomes richer because Jed remains affectionate even when the financial logic becomes increasingly questionable. The The discussion of investment also exposes one of the series' favorite comic contrasts. The Clampetts possess extraordinary financial resources while remaining emotionally unfamiliar with the complicated institutions that surround their fortune. Jethro can imagine enormous profits without fully appreciating the mechanisms that supposedly produce them. Granny can interpret financial developments as evidence of prophecy. Jed can understand the value of money while remaining suspicious of elaborate schemes. This creates a comic inversion in which the people with the greatest financial power are often the least interested in behaving like conventional financiers. Their wealth changes their circumstances, but it does not erase the rural habits and straightforward values that define their personalities. Jethro's stagecoach ambition becomes especially funny when his imagination expands beyond a single investment and begins suggesting the possibility of a much larger fortune. He does not seem troubled by the scale of his expectations. If one opportunity can produce money, then another might produce even more, and before long the possibility of becoming extraordinarily wealthy seems entirely natural to him. The escalation is classic sitcom construction. A simple financial idea becomes an ambitious dream because Jethro treats every new possibility as reasonable. His innocent confidence gives the performers room for increasingly exaggerated reactions while preserving the character's essential sweetness. Granny's prophetic worldview makes this escalation even more persuasive within the family. She is not merely encouraging Jethro because she wants him to succeed. She believes she has already seen evidence that success is waiting for him. Her confidence therefore removes the normal uncertainty associated with investment. If the future has already been revealed, why should anyone hesitate? This mistaken logic becomes one of the central comic mechanisms of the sequence. Granny's belief transforms risk into destiny, while Jethro's enthusiasm transforms destiny into an opportunity. Their combined certainty leaves little room for caution, and that absence of caution is precisely what makes the financial discussion so entertaining. The comedy also benefits from the contrast between Jethro's excitement and the professional world represented by Mr. Drysdale. Drysdale understands that money is supposed to be managed carefully, documented thoroughly, and protected from unnecessary risks. Jethro, by comparison, treats financial possibility almost like an adventure. Their different attitudes reveal an important aspect of the show's satire. The banker who appears sophisticated can become nervous and calculating, while the supposedly unsophisticated Jethro remains cheerful and fearless. The script does not simply declare one approach superior. Instead, it finds humor in the distance between them, allowing both perspectives to become comic through the characters' reactions. What makes the sequence especially affectionate is that Jethro's ambition never feels malicious or greedy. He does not appear obsessed with money for its own sake. He is excited by the idea of doing something important, becoming successful, and proving that he can understand the sophisticated financial world surrounding the family. His confidence is part of his charm. Max Bear Jr. performance works because Jethro's innocence remains visible beneath every ambitious declaration. The audience can laugh at his misunderstandings while still rooting for him. That balance is essential to the series' characterization, where even the most ridiculous schemes usually emerge from understandable hopes and good intentions. As Jethro's investment ambitions continue to grow, the financial discussion reaches a natural point of comic escalation. What began as a seemingly simple opportunity has become part of a much larger fantasy of success, encouraged by Granny's prophetic certainty and Jethro's boundless confidence. Jed remains the family's practical anchor, while the financial world around them waits to see what the Clampetts will do with their extraordinary resources. The humor lies in the fact that nobody involved quite recognizes how unusual the situation has become. For Jethro, the future looks brighter than ever, and for Granny, every development seems to validate her mysterious visions, leaving the family poised for the next remarkable consequence of their newfound confidence. The family's extraordinary wealth now becomes the center of a very different kind of comic spectacle, as Mr. Drysdale begins imagining how the Clampetts could be presented to the television audience. His enthusiasm is not simply about advertising the bank. He wants to create a grand personal narrative in which he appears as the brilliant financial genius responsible for transforming the supposedly impoverished family into wealthy Beverly Hills residents. The absurdity is immediately apparent because the Clampetts were already wealthy before Drysdale entered their lives. His version of events therefore requires an elaborate fictional reconstruction, and his determination to tell that story becomes the engine of the commercial comedy. Drysdale's advertising concept reveals his enormous appetite for self-importance. Rather than allowing the Clampetts to appear naturally, he wants to manufacture a dramatic rags-to-riches story that will make him look heroic. In his imagination, the family becomes the perfect example of what his banking expertise can accomplish. The joke depends upon the gap between his polished professional fantasy and the simple truth known by everyone in the Clampett household. Jed does not need Drysdale to make him successful. Granny certainly does not believe she owes her fortune to a banker, and the family's comfortable life existed before Drysdale could claim credit for it. Yet Drysdale remains completely committed to his own version of history. The filming itself becomes a natural extension of Drysdale's obsession with presentation. The Clampetts are dressed and arranged according to his idea of what hillbillies should look like, turning their genuine rural identity into an exaggerated television costume. This creates an especially sharp form of visual comedy because the audience knows that the family is being made to look less sophisticated than they actually are in order to support Drysdale's story. The costumes, props, poses, and staged behavior become part of the joke. The Clampetts are not pretending to be wealthy newcomers. Drysdale is pretending that he created their transformation. And the commercial requires everyone else to participate in his fantasy. Jet's good-natured reaction is important because he does not approach the commercial with the same vanity that motivates Drysdale. He is willing to cooperate, but his practical personality makes the spectacle seem increasingly strange. Buddy Ebsen's understated performance can heighten the humor simply through Jed's facial reactions and patient acceptance of whatever ridiculous instruction comes next. Jed does not need to deliver an elaborate rebuttal. His calm presence allows the absurdity to speak for itself. The more extravagant Drysdale becomes, the more valuable Jed's quiet sincerity becomes as a comic contrast, reminding the audience that the Clampetts have no need to manufacture a heroic financial history. Granny's participation creates an even more entertaining clash between Drysdale's polished advertising ambitions and the family's authentic personality. She cannot easily be transformed into a carefully controlled television image because she brings her own forceful ideas into every situation. Her confidence, gestures, and blunt responses threaten to overwhelm whatever elegant commercial Drysdale has imagined. Irene Ryan's physical comedy would naturally make these moments especially vivid because Granny can communicate resistance or bewilderment through posture, expression, movement, and emphatic delivery. The commercial therefore becomes less like a controlled advertisement and more like another Clampett household gathering, with Drysdale desperately attempting to impose order on personalities that refuse to behave according to the script. Drysdale's fantasies grow even more elaborate as he imagines himself as a heroic figure responsible for the family's rise to prosperity. The commercial becomes a stage on which he can perform the role of financial savior, complete with exaggerated self-presentation and increasingly ridiculous ideas about how his accomplishments should be remembered. This is where the sequence develops its strongest satirical edge. Advertising is supposed to persuade an audience by creating an attractive story, but Drysdale's story is so disconnected from reality that the persuasion itself becomes comic. His professional sophistication does not prevent him from believing his own publicity. Instead, it encourages him to make the fantasy bigger. The contrast between the Clampetts' genuine wealth and their manufactured image also allows the script to play with American ideas about success. Drysdale assumes that viewers will respond to a familiar Cinderella narrative in which an expert businessman rescues a poor family and guides them toward prosperity. Yet the Clampetts do not fit that structure at all. Their wealth has already placed them in a position of extraordinary financial power, while their behavior remains guided by rural habits, family loyalty, hospitality, and common sense. The commercial therefore becomes a comic distortion of the American success story, with Drysdale trying to force real people into a narrative that simply does not belong to them. Miss Jane Hathaway provides an essential professional counterpoint during the advertising chaos. She understands exactly how unreasonable Drysdale's demands have become, yet her responsibility is to help manage the consequences of his decisions. Nancy Culp's restrained reactions make Jane an ideal audience surrogate within the scene. Where Drysdale sees an inspired promotional masterpiece, Jane can see the exhausting practical problems developing around it. Her professionalism prevents her from simply abandoning the project, but her increasingly frustrated responses reveal how difficult it is to maintain dignity while participating in Drysdale's extravagant fantasy. The humor grows from the contrast between competent realism and obsessive self-promotion. The commercial also demonstrates how strongly the series depends on visual comedy rather than dialogue alone. Costumes, staging, cameras, gestures, exaggerated poses, and the physical arrangement of the characters can all become comic material. Drysdale's attempts to direct the family create opportunities for awkward movement and reaction shots, while the Clampetts' natural behavior continually disrupts the polished image he wants to create. Their lack of concern about appearing sophisticated becomes funny precisely because Drysdale is so concerned about appearances. The camera within the story therefore becomes another source of misunderstanding, capturing a version of the family that exists mainly because Drysdale insists upon constructing it. As the promotional spectacle grows more elaborate, the central irony becomes impossible to ignore. Drysdale is working desperately to create a story in which he made the Clampetts successful, while the family's own behavior keeps exposing how unnecessary his heroic narrative really is. Their wealth, confidence, and independence exist regardless of the commercial he wants to produce. Yet Drysdale remains determined to complete his grand presentation, convinced that the perfect image will justify his importance. The sequence reaches its comic strength by allowing his ambition to collide repeatedly with the Clampet's natural simplicity, leaving the stage spectacle poised to become even more extravagant as he continues trying to control the image. The comic world shifts dramatically when Mr. Drysdale suffers a head injury, and Granny immediately interprets the situation through her own wonderfully unconventional understanding of medicine. Instead of accepting the injury as a straightforward medical problem, she becomes convinced that something much more extraordinary has happened inside Drysdale's skull. Her certainty is immediate and absolute, precisely the quality that makes Granny so effective in physical comedy. She does not wait for careful professional explanations before forming a conclusion. Once she believes that his skull has become dangerously fragile, every ordinary detail surrounding his injury becomes evidence supporting an increasingly elaborate medical theory. Granny's belief that Drysdale's skull is as fragile as an eggshell creates an irresistible comic image because she treats the comparison with complete literal seriousness. The metaphor becomes, in her mind, an actual medical condition requiring an extraordinary solution. Her imagination races far beyond anything suggested by the original injury, and the household is suddenly confronted with the possibility of an improvised medical operation. The humor depends on the contrast between Granny's confidence and the obvious absurdity of her reasoning. She speaks with the authority of an experienced healer, while the audience can see that her medical conclusions are being constructed almost entirely from misunderstanding, instinct, and absolute conviction. The proposed head transplant becomes the natural culmination of Granny's unusual logic. If Drysdale's head is damaged beyond ordinary repair, she reasons, then perhaps the simplest answer is to replace it. The absurdity of the idea is made funnier by the fact that Granny does not present it as a wild fantasy. She approaches the procedure with practical determination, as though replacing someone's head were merely an ambitious extension of the remedies she has always trusted. Irene Ryan's performance is crucial because Granny's seriousness allows the audience to experience the full comic contradiction. The more calmly she discusses an impossible medical procedure, the more ridiculous the situation becomes. The imagined operation also creates a remarkable opportunity for prop comedy. Medical instruments, bottles, surgical equipment, mallets, gas, and other objects become part of Granny's improvised understanding of modern medicine. Instead of being symbols of professional expertise, these objects become tools in a household fantasy. Granny sees them as perfectly appropriate because she is assembling a medical procedure from whatever concepts she understands. The props therefore function as extensions of her personality. Each object gives her another opportunity to demonstrate confidence, and each additional piece of equipment makes the proposed operation appear simultaneously more elaborate and more absurd. Granny's search for a suitable donor adds another layer of comic escalation because the logic of the situation becomes increasingly detached from ordinary medical reality. She discusses the possibility of finding someone whose head could somehow solve Drysdale's problem, treating the matter as though it were a practical household difficulty requiring determination and resourcefulness. The comedy is strengthened by her lack of hesitation. She does not seem frightened by the enormity of the procedure. Instead, she is energized by the challenge. Her confidence turns a medical emergency into another problem she believes can be solved through common sense, homemade remedies, and a willingness to take action. Jed's presence again provides an important contrast to Granny's increasingly elaborate plans. His practical instincts make the proposed operation sound even more ridiculous because he responds to Granny's confidence with the patient bewilderment of someone trying to understand how an ordinary injury has somehow become a discussion of head replacement. Body absence restrained reactions would naturally heighten the physical comedy. Jed does not need to compete with Granny's energy. His stillness, pauses, and puzzled expressions create a quiet frame around her frantic activity. The contrast allows Granny's movements and declarations to become larger without losing the family's affectionate tone. Mr. Drysdale's own predicament makes the comedy especially rich because he is normally the person associated with sophistication, institutions, and professional authority. Yet, in Granny's hands, his injury reduces that authority to the level of a comic medical problem she believes she can solve herself. His fear and confusion become part of the physical comedy, particularly as Granny continues discussing procedures that would terrify anyone with a basic understanding of surgery. The reversal is characteristic of the series. The supposedly sophisticated banker is suddenly dependent upon a rural woman whose medical reasoning is wildly unconventional, while Granny behaves as though she has complete command of the situation. The preparation for the imagined procedure becomes increasingly chaotic as Granny gathers the things she believes will be necessary. Anesthesia, surgical instruments, gas, mallets, and other equipment are treated as ordinary components of her plan. The comedy comes from the escalating accumulation of objects and instructions. Each item makes the procedure seem more serious while simultaneously making Granny's reasoning more outrageous. Physical movement becomes essential. Characters must react to the equipment, attempt to understand Granny's instructions, and avoid the consequences of her enthusiastic preparations. The scene therefore demonstrates how the series turns props and movement into active participants in the joke rather than treating them as background decoration. The medical misunderstanding also reflects one of the series' most enduring comic principles. The Clampets interpret sophisticated modern institutions according to their own rural logic. Granny does not necessarily reject modern medicine. She simply translates it into terms she understands. That translation produces a bizarre mixture of confidence, folk wisdom, and imagined professional procedure. The audience can recognize the gap between Granny's interpretation and the world of actual medical practice, but the show does not use that gap to demean her. Instead, it celebrates the imaginative consistency of her character. Once Granny decides that something must be done, her determination becomes more powerful than the complexity of the institution she is attempting to navigate. The sequence reaches its comic strength as Granny's improvised medical fantasy becomes almost impossible to contain. What began with Drysdale's injury has expanded into an elaborate plan involving surgery, equipment, donors, anesthesia, and an imagined solution that Granny regards as perfectly reasonable. Her absolute confidence remains the heart of the comedy, while Drysdale's anxiety and the reactions of the surrounding characters provide the necessary contrast. The scene does not need to resolve every absurd detail immediately. Its purpose is to let Granny's imagination reach an extraordinary level of escalation. With the medical preparations now threatening to overwhelm ordinary common sense, the situation is poised for the next burst of Clampett-style chaos. The arrival of Roy Halsey brings a warmer and more personal energy into the Clampett household because he comes from the family's familiar world back home and carries with him a history that immediately connects him to Ellie Mae. His presence introduces the affectionate possibility of an old romantic attachment, but the comedy remains grounded in the simple sincerity that defines the Clampetts. Roy is not entering a household where people behave according to polished Beverly Hills conventions. Instead, he steps into a family where old friendships, homemade remedies, courtship, business ambitions, and hospitality naturally become mixed together. His arrival therefore feels less like a formal visit and more like another unexpected extension of the Clampetts' rural world into their extravagant new surroundings. Roy's connection with Ellie Mae gives this story an emotional center beneath the increasingly elaborate comedy. His attachment to her is straightforward and sincere, which makes it easy to understand why he would travel from back home carrying hopes of establishing himself in Beverly Hills. Donna Douglas's portrayal of Ellie Mae is especially important because her warmth prevents the romantic material from becoming overly complicated. Ellie responds with the same gentle openness that characterizes her relationships throughout the series. She does not approach Roy through social calculation or financial ambition. Her reactions are guided by affection and familiarity, creating a charming contrast with the sophisticated environment in which the Clampetts now live. Roy's ambitions become more complicated because he arrives carrying Mother Myrtle's magic mixture and hopes to make a business from the tonic. The medicine immediately becomes a comic object because it represents two very different worlds at once. To Roy, it is a practical opportunity and part of the family's established tradition. To the Beverly Hills environment, the idea of selling a mysterious homemade mixture sounds far less respectable. The script uses that contrast to generate humor without treating Roy's background cruelly. Like the Clampetts themselves, he approaches the modern world with familiar assumptions, and the resulting collision creates the conditions for another elaborate misunderstanding. Granny's reaction to Roy and the tonic is particularly significant because she recognizes the medicine through the language of her own experience. She is comfortable with homemade remedies, folk wisdom, and confident medical claims, so Roy's product immediately fits into her understanding of the world. Her enthusiasm also makes the tonic seem far more important than a simple bottle of medicine. Once Granny becomes interested, the possibility of demonstrating its effectiveness naturally grows into something much larger. Irene Ryan's performance can heighten the sequence through absolute seriousness, energetic gestures, and the conviction that every strange idea is perfectly reasonable when it is intended to help someone. The medicine show material gains its comic power when Roy and Granny begin constructing a demonstration designed to convince observers that Mother Myrtle's magic mixture possesses remarkable powers. Their presentation depends upon exaggeration, performance, and carefully staged reactions, but the Clampetts are not sophisticated enough to recognize how theatrical the whole thing appears from the outside. That lack of self-awareness is essential to the humor. They sincerely believe they are presenting evidence. The audience, meanwhile, can see that the demonstration is becoming a spectacle. The difference between intention and appearance creates the central comic tension, allowing every gesture and announcement to become increasingly ridiculous without losing the character's innocence. Granny's contribution to the demonstration is especially entertaining because she approaches the supposed medical crisis with the same confidence she brings to every other challenge. The tonic is presented as though it were capable of producing extraordinary effects, while Granny's improvised medical reasoning gives the performance an almost theatrical seriousness. Her facial expressions and emphatic gestures would make the scene highly physical, particularly as she reacts to the supposed symptoms and prepares to reveal her remedy. Irene Ryan has the rare ability to make Granny's complete conviction visible before she even speaks. A glance, a gesture toward the bottle, or a sudden change in posture can communicate that Granny believes she is conducting an important medical experiment. The supposed poison scare pushes the demonstration into classic sitcom escalation. What begins as an attempt to sell a tonic becomes a deliberately frightening performance in which the medicine is portrayed as dangerous and Granny's remedy is positioned as the miraculous answer. The reversal is comic because the characters create the problem themselves in order to make their solution appear impressive. Their confidence prevents them from recognizing how outrageous the performance has become. Roy participates with the earnest determination of someone trying to establish a business, while Granny treats the demonstration as an opportunity to prove the effectiveness of her own knowledge. Their combined sincerity makes the deception strangely innocent. The physical possibilities of the sequence are considerable. Bottles can be displayed dramatically, characters can react with exaggerated alarm, and Granny can move rapidly between explanation, treatment, and triumphant confidence. The medicine itself becomes a prop that controls the rhythm of the scene. Every time the bottle appears, the audience understands that another stage of the demonstration is about to begin. The contrast between the supposedly dangerous mixture and Granny's improvised antidote also creates a visual joke. The characters believe they are presenting a convincing medical spectacle, while their actions reveal just how homemade and improbable the entire performance really is. The presence of sophisticated Beverly Hills observers makes the medicine show deception even funnier because the Clampet's sincerity is placed against the social environment. Accustomed to professional presentation, what might seem perfectly ordinary in the family's rural experience becomes extraordinary once performed in a polished metropolitan setting. Roy's desire to establish himself and Granny's confidence in her remedy therefore collide with expectations about respectable business and medicine. The comedy does not require the Clampetts to become sophisticated. Instead, the script finds humor in allowing them to remain completely themselves while the surrounding world struggles to understand what they are attempting to accomplish. As the demonstration grows more elaborate, Roy's hopes of selling Mother Myrtle's magic mixture become intertwined with Granny's determination to prove the remedy's miraculous value and Ellie Mae's affectionate connection to Roy. The situation has now become larger than a simple business proposal. It is simultaneously a romantic reunion, a sales performance, and another example of the Clampetts translating modern life through their own familiar logic. Roy remains earnest, Granny remains completely confident, and the family continues treating the increasingly absurd performance as a perfectly sensible undertaking. The tonic demonstration therefore leaves the household in a wonderfully unstable comic position, with its homemade medical spectacle ready to create even greater complications. The medicine show scheme now reaches its most revealing stage as Granny becomes completely committed to the idea that Mother Myrtle's magic mixture must be demonstrated through an impressive crisis. What makes the sequence so entertaining is the absolute seriousness with which she approaches a performance that the audience can recognize as wildly artificial. Granny does not think of herself as an actress staging a deception. She believes she is presenting convincing evidence that the tonic possesses remarkable value. Irene Ryan's comic gift lies in making that conviction visible through every movement, expression, and emphatic declaration, allowing the scene to become a physical spectacle built entirely around Granny's confidence. Roy's participation adds another dimension because he is trying to establish himself commercially while relying upon a product connected to his family's traditional medicine show world. His desire to make the tonic successful is understandable, but his method requires him to enter a performance that becomes increasingly elaborate. The contrast between business ambition and homespun presentation is central to the humor. Roy wants the product to appear valuable and impressive, while Granny naturally pushes the demonstration toward theatrical extremes. Neither seems fully aware of how strange the spectacle looks to sophisticated observers. Their sincerity makes the deception more amusing because they behave as though they are conducting an entirely respectable business presentation. The decision to portray the tonic as dangerous poison creates the central comic reversal. Instead of simply claiming that the medicine works, the demonstration first creates an alarming problem and then promises that Granny's remedy can solve it. This is classic escalation because the characters deliberately make their sales pitch more frightening in order to make the cure appear more miraculous. The audience understands the mechanism immediately, while the characters remain absorbed in the performance. Granny's confidence is particularly important because she treats the manufactured danger as though it were a genuine medical emergency. Her determination to provide the cure gives the entire sequence a breathless, improvised quality. The physical comedy becomes increasingly important as the supposed medical crisis unfolds. Bottles are handled with dramatic emphasis, characters react to the imagined symptoms, and Granny moves with the urgency of someone performing a genuine emergency procedure. Her gestures can transform ordinary objects into apparently important medical instruments. This is exactly the kind of material that allows Irene Ryan's physical acting to dominate a scene. Granny can lean toward a patient, inspect a bottle, issue instructions, and react with triumphant certainty, creating a rhythm in which every movement becomes part of the joke. The audience laughs because the performance is so intense compared with the ridiculous premise behind it. Roy's salesmanship provides an effective counterpoint to Granny's medical confidence. He is trying to make the product credible, but the demonstration continually threatens to overwhelm the commercial purpose with theatrical absurdity. His earnestness keeps the sequence from becoming cynical. Roy is not portrayed as a calculating con artist who enjoys deceiving people for personal gain. Instead, he behaves like someone who genuinely believes that the tonic can provide an opportunity and who trusts Granny to make the presentation work. That sincerity connects him emotionally to Ellie Mae and to the Clampett family, allowing the business comedy to retain the warmth that characterizes the series. Ellie Mae's presence gives the medicine show chaos a gentle emotional counterweight. Her affection for Roy makes his ambitions more meaningful than a simple attempt to sell bottles of tonic. She sees him as someone familiar from home, and her warmth prevents the situation from becoming merely another elaborate scheme. Donna Douglas's natural sincerity would allow Ellie to react to the spectacle without the calculating skepticism of a sophisticated observer. Her responses instead come from affection, curiosity, and concern for the people around her. This makes the contrast with Beverly Hills culture particularly effective. The Clampetts continue to judge situations through personal loyalty rather than through polished appearances or commercial sophistication. The supposed poison demonstration also illustrates the series' recurring fascination with the difference between appearance and reality. The tonic is made to look dangerous because Granny and Roy want its supposed antidote to appear miraculous, yet the entire danger exists only because they have created the performance themselves. Their actions reveal how easily a simple sales pitch can become an elaborate fantasy when characters believe that exaggeration is necessary to make their point. The joke is strengthened by the Clampetts' inability to recognize the contradiction. They're attempting to prove the medicine works by creating a situation that would never exist without their own intervention, and they treat that circular logic as perfectly sensible. The sophisticated Beverly Hills environment makes the demonstration even more visually and socially ridiculous. The Clampetts remain rooted in a world of homemade remedies, personal trust, and straightforward claims, while the surrounding society expects professional medicine and respectable business presentation. The resulting clash is not simply rural against urban, it is also sincerity against performance. The Clampetts can be completely sincere while simultaneously creating an artificial spectacle. That contradiction is one of the show's great comic strengths. Their rural logic does not necessarily make them dishonest in their own minds. Instead, it allows them to enter sophisticated situations without understanding the social rules that would normally govern how such situations are presented. Granny's confidence ultimately becomes the dominant force in the sequence. Once she has decided that her remedy is the answer, nothing seems capable of weakening her conviction. The imagined symptoms, the dramatic presentation, and the reactions of everyone nearby only give her more opportunities to demonstrate what she believes she knows. Her certainty transforms the medicine bottle into a comic symbol of her personality, ordinary in itself, but extraordinary because of the meaning Granny assigns to it. Irene Ryan's ability to combine verbal intensity with physical movement would make every interaction with the bottle, the patient, and the surrounding characters part of a carefully escalating comic performance. The medicine show episode reaches its comic culmination with the Clampett still treating the elaborate performance as a perfectly reasonable demonstration of Mother Myrtle's product. Roy's hopes for success, Granny's confidence in her remedy, and Ellie Mae's affection for Roy remain intertwined, giving the chaos an emotional warmth beneath its absurdity. The sequence works because every participant approaches the situation sincerely even though the audience can see how manufactured the entire spectacle has become. By turning a simple tonic into a frightening poison scare and then into a miraculous cure, the family has transformed ordinary salesmanship into a full comic production, leaving the situation ready to become entangled with the people and business interests surrounding the tonic. Myrtle Halsey's arrival introduces a new layer of complication because she connects the Clampetts' familiar world of homemade remedies with the polished commercial environments surrounding them in Beverly Hills. As an old acquaintance of Granny's, Myrtle carries the authority of shared history, yet she also arrives with ambitions that reach beyond the family's simple rural routines. Her interest in moving the tonic business to the West Coast immediately creates opportunities for business, romance, and misunderstanding to overlap. The comedy works because the Clampetts approach Myrtle through personal familiarity while the people around them are more likely to interpret her arrival through questions of money, reputation, and social advantage. Granny's relationship with Myrtle gives their conversations an easy sense of familiarity that contrasts sharply with the complicated reactions surrounding them. Granny does not need elaborate explanations to trust someone she knows from home, and that confidence allows Myrtle's plans to enter the household without the suspicion that might accompany an ordinary business proposal. The humor comes from the difference between Granny's uncomplicated understanding of friendship and the more calculating environment of Beverly Hills. To Granny, Myrtle is an old acquaintance with a product and an opportunity. Around Mr. Drysdale, however, those same facts become potentially significant financial developments, immediately transforming a friendly visit into something he must monitor. Myrtle's interest in establishing the tonic business on the West Coast also continues the script's recurring contrast between rural enterprise and sophisticated commercial culture. The Clampetts have enormous financial resources, yet their understanding of business remains rooted in straightforward ideas about helping people, making useful products, and trusting familiar acquaintances. Myrtle's ambitions therefore fit naturally into their world even when they create complications for others. The humor is not based on suggesting that the Clampetts are incapable of understanding money. Rather, they understand money differently. Their wealth has not replaced their personal values, and their instinct is still to judge a business opportunity through relationships and sincerity. Mr. Drysdale becomes especially vulnerable when Myrtle's plans begin intersecting with his own professional world. As the banker responsible for the Clampett fortune, he is constantly alert to anything that might affect their money, yet his obsession also makes him unusually sensitive to social and romantic complications. Myrtle's presence therefore gives Drysdale another problem to manage, and his attempts to maintain control naturally produce comic tension. Raymond Bailey's performance is most effective when Drysdale's polished exterior begins to crack. He can speak in the language of banking and business, while his reactions reveal that he is increasingly overwhelmed by circumstances he cannot organize according to conventional financial logic. Miss Jane Hathaway's reactions provide an essential counterpoint to Drysdale's growing complications. Nancy Culp's Jane is intelligent, capable, and accustomed to translating Drysdale's frantic demands into practical action, but even her professionalism has limits when personal relationships become mixed with banking concerns and Clampett innocence. Her expressions and restrained responses can communicate the absurdity of a situation long before she openly comments on it. The humor often depends upon this contrast between Drysdale's urgency and Jane's increasingly weary awareness that another unnecessary complication has entered their lives. She remains the person trying to preserve order, while everyone around her continues creating reasons for order to become impossible. The romantic dimension surrounding Myrtle and Drysdale adds another layer to the comedy because neither money nor social sophistication can make emotional situations behave predictably. Drysdale is accustomed to controlling financial circumstances through influence, persuasion, and professional confidence, but personal relationships operate according to entirely different rules. Myrtle's presence therefore exposes a weakness beneath his polished image. His concern about how events might affect his reputation and business interests becomes inseparable from his personal reactions. The resulting comedy is character-driven rather than merely situational, because Drysdale's desperation grows from his own need to control every surrounding circumstance. The Clampetts, meanwhile, approach the complicated relationship with their customary sincerity. Judd's calm practicality provides a reassuring emotional center because he is less interested in appearances than in whether the people involved are decent and trustworthy. Buddy Ebsen's restrained performance style makes Judd especially effective in these situations. He does not need to understand every sophisticated implication before responding kindly. His willingness to accept people at face value creates a quiet contrast with Drysdale's tendency to anticipate financial consequences. Judd's simplicity is therefore not portrayed as foolishness. It becomes a form of emotional intelligence that allows him to remain steady while more sophisticated characters become increasingly confused. Ellie Mae's warmth further softens the complications surrounding Myrtle and Roy, because the younger generation of the family continues to view relationships through affection rather than calculation. Her sincerity makes the romantic material feel connected to the Clampetts' larger emotional world instead of functioning solely as another business joke. She is not primarily concerned with status, commercial success, or the appearance of sophistication. Her responses remain grounded in personal feeling. That quality is central to the show's larger comic philosophy. Beverly Hills may surround the family with wealth and social complexity, but the Clampetts continue to evaluate important matters according to loyalty, kindness, familiarity, and genuine human attachment. Myrtle's business ambitions also allow the script to satirize the language of professional success. The prospect of expanding a tonic business to the West Coast sounds grand when discussed in commercial terms, yet the actual product and the people promoting it remain rooted in the homespun traditions that have already produced so much confusion. The contrast between polished business language and homemade enterprise creates an affectionate joke about American ambition. Everyone wants the opportunity to succeed, but the characters understand success differently. Myrtle sees the new market, Drysdale sees potential financial complications, and the Clampetts see familiar people trying to make something work. As Myrtle's plans become increasingly entangled with Drysdale's concerns, the household reaches another point where business, romance, wealth, and personal loyalty can no longer be separated neatly. The comedy remains affectionate because none of the characters needs to become malicious for the situation to become complicated. Myrtle wants opportunity, the Clampetts respond with generosity and familiarity, Roy carries his own hopes, and Drysdale struggles to protect both his professional interests and his carefully controlled world. Miss Jane watches the complications multiply with the patience of someone who already understands that another attempt to impose order will probably create still more disorder. The situation remains poised for the financial pressure surrounding the Clampett fortune to become even more consequential. The enormous size of the Clampett fortune transforms Mr. Drysdale's ordinary professional responsibilities into an almost unbearable personal burden. An account reaching $80 million is not simply a financial figure in the world of the story. It becomes a psychological weight that Drysdale carries everywhere. His entire professional identity depends upon keeping the Clampetts satisfied and their money safely within his institution, yet the family themselves remain remarkably casual about the fortune. This contrast creates one of the richest comic reversals in the material. Drysdale treats their wealth as something requiring constant strategic management, while the Clampetts continue to think about money through generosity, family loyalty, and straightforward ideas about what people ought to do with it. Raymond Bailey's performance as Drysdale is particularly effective because his anxiety can become increasingly physical without requiring him to abandon the polished manner that defines the character. The banker attempts to maintain professional dignity even as the enormous balance becomes a source of exhaustion. His concern is understandable from a business perspective, but the intensity of his reaction turns responsibility into obsession. Every conversation involving the Clampetts can potentially affect his financial security, and that possibility keeps him perpetually alert. The comedy emerges from watching a supposedly powerful banking executive become emotionally dependent upon a family that has little interest in behaving according to the financial rules he considers essential. The Clampetts' attitude toward their fortune makes Drysdale's anxiety even more amusing. Jed does not treat $80 million as an abstract symbol of prestige or professional power. His practical nature leads him to consider money in terms of what it can accomplish for people. The family's wealth has not erased their older habits of generosity and hospitality, and that emotional simplicity repeatedly unsettles Drysdale. Buddy Ebsen's restrained portrayal of Jed allows the contrast to remain gentle. Jed can listen patiently to Drysdale's increasingly urgent explanations without matching his panic, creating a comic rhythm in which Drysdale becomes more frantic precisely because Jed remains so calm and reasonable. Miss Jane Hathaway becomes an important witness to this growing financial exhaustion because she understands both Drysdale's professional concerns and the peculiar behavior of the Clampetts. Nancy Culp's Jane can communicate a great deal through controlled reactions, pauses, and restrained expressions. She recognizes that Drysdale's obsession is becoming excessive, yet she remains responsible for helping him manage the consequences. Her professionalism gives the scenes a stabilizing presence, but it also makes the absurdity more visible. Jane understands the seriousness of banking, while the audience understands that Drysdale's emotional dependence on the Clampett fortune has made an ordinary financial responsibility into an almost theatrical crisis. The physical exhaustion associated with Drysdale's financial anxiety becomes a form of character comedy because his body begins to reflect the pressure created by his own obsession. The more he worries about the enormous balance, the more overwhelmed he appears. This is a particularly effective sitcom principle. An invisible economic concern becomes visible through posture, movement, facial expression, hurried speech, and increasingly frantic reactions. Raymond Bailey can heighten the joke by allowing Drysdale's polished exterior to deteriorate gradually rather than collapsing immediately into broad comedy. The audience watches a man who believes he is protecting an extraordinary fortune slowly become the person most damaged by the responsibility of protecting it. The $80 million balance also allows the script to satirize the assumptions surrounding American prosperity. The Clampetts possess financial power on a scale that should place them at the center of sophisticated economic life, yet they remain emotionally detached from the status such wealth might provide. Their fortune has not transformed them into conventional financiers, investors, or social climbers. Instead, they continue to value familiar customs and personal relationships. Drysdale represents the opposite impulse. He understands money as a system requiring management, retention, influence, and professional control. The comedy comes from the fact that the people who supposedly understand wealth best are often the most anxious about it. Jed's generosity becomes especially important as the family considers what their fortune means beyond their own household. His instinct is not to hoard money simply because the balance is enormous. He remains willing to help people when he believes they are in genuine need, and that moral instinct provides the emotional foundation for the financial comedy. The Clampetts may misunderstand sophisticated financial systems, but they possess an uncomplicated understanding of generosity. This quality explains why their decisions can appear financially dangerous to Drysdale while remaining morally obvious to Jed. His calm certainty exposes the limitations of a worldview in which every major decision is measured primarily through monetary consequences. The contrast between Drysdale and the Clampetts also reveals one of the series' gentlest satirical ideas. Enormous wealth does not necessarily produce greater emotional security. Drysdale has professional knowledge, institutional authority, and access to financial expertise, yet he is increasingly exhausted by the very fortune he wants to protect. The Clampetts, by comparison, possess extraordinary resources without allowing those resources to dominate their emotional lives. Their security comes more from family affection and mutual trust than from the number attached to their bank account. The situation, therefore, reverses the expected hierarchy between sophisticated banker and unsophisticated clients, allowing the supposedly less worldly family to appear psychologically freer. The bank setting becomes a particularly useful comic environment because it represents the polished financial world that Drysdale believes he understands completely. Within that environment, however, the Clampetts' presence repeatedly disrupts conventional expectations. Their money gives them enormous influence while their behavior remains simple and direct. The enormous account therefore becomes almost a character in itself, capable of producing fear in Drysdale even when the family is not consciously trying to cause trouble. The telephone, office conversations, financial discussions, and Drysdale's increasingly strained reactions can all contribute to a rhythm of accumulating pressure. Every ordinary banking interaction carries the possibility of another misunderstanding or financial complication. By the time Drysdale's exhaustion becomes a central comic feature, the enormous fortune has taken on a wonderfully paradoxical meaning. It represents security for the Clampetts, but anxiety for the banker whose professional identity is tied to keeping it under control. The family remains generous, calm, and emotionally grounded, while Drysdale becomes increasingly desperate to prevent any decision that might disturb the balance. Miss Jane continues, attempting to manage the consequences with professional patience, and Jed remains the steady center of the household. The financial pressure is therefore ready to expand beyond ordinary banking concerns because the Clampetts' generosity is about to place their immense resources in connection with an even more extraordinary problem.